Hello and welcome back to Dark Heresy. I'm the Games Master, nothing more. Last time, you performed an autopsy, returned and stole a gun from a servitor, had an encounter with Willem, and revved an eviscerator at a traumatized young woman. That's the Inquisition, baby. Last time, we ended on Amelia explaining to Gunnar the situation and asking him to inform her about the tutors. Now, before we pick back up, I thought it'd be a good chance to review the evidence you've gathered so far. So, starting off, what do you think has happened?
Someone has
I think there's
died.
been a murder.
Shit, there's been a murder.
There's been a murder.
Okay. More
User
precisely,
disconnected from your
well,
channel.
Oh, there goes Wrath. We scared him
Yeah,
off because it was too Scottish.
I quoted Taggart and scared him off, and that's full on disconnected. That's it. He's practically
Wow.
User entered
found
your
himself. Oh, he's
channel.
back.
He's back.
I'm sorry for quoting Taggart. Raph.
I'm sorry for being better at Scottish than you.
So,
where's like the HR for the Oculus?
It's me.
yeah,
I'm trying to remember as well. So, from what I recall, he got shot in the leg first, and then he got shot in the side of the head and in the mouth up into his brain.
so you
Didn't
don't
make
know
that
the
look like
order of the gunshots, but there were 3 gunshots wounds. There was one in his leg. There was one.
Well, one would have to come in the leg before the head because the head ones would have killed him.
So there's one in his leg, one in his through his temple, and then one up through his mouth. Speaking of actually, what was the weapon that was used?
Pistol, commissar.
Las pistol, in particular.
It was not a bullwhip.
That is correct. I think that's the best way of doing it, is just mentioning every weapon possible and striking them out and working
It was
down.
a crowbar in the kitchen.
yeah.
It was Mr. Plum.
So,
I mean, it's on brand for the
should we
Administratum,
just,
so it
like,
works.
Play a new game with the DM. Does
Yeah.
the murderer have glasses?
Oh yeah, we can just do this. Like, guess who?
I don't know. I've
Does
never
he
met.
look
I
like
don't
a
think I've
bitch?
mentioned a single character as having glasses in Dark Heresy, because it's
That's
not
true,
relevant to
that's
the story.
Is it Steve?
It is Steve. So third question: where is the weapon?
Missing.
Cool.
There was a las pistol, I think, as well.
Yeah,
that was missing specifically.
So Dangir's cut down las pistol was missing. So it was recorded as being returned, but he appears to have left with it. What did you learn from examining the room?
Demon's last 2 letters is car.
That's not
That's
what
a
we learned
separate
from
thing,
the room at all.
potentially.
That's what
Yeah,
I learned from the room.
There was a struggle, and then there was like
He was-
what? He
he was
died in the
shot-
bed, and then
No,
slumped
he was
forward or
shot in the
something?
bed. He was shot in the bed originally.
I don't know about
Because
that.
because the blood was dried in the sheets.
The blood was cooler over by the desk than it was the
Yeah.
ball over by the bed.
Right, so that would mean the bed was
Other way around.
where he was second. He was by the desk first, and his attacker came from above.
So yeah, there were 2 blood pools when he came in. One was the slightly lower temperature that was over by the desk, and then there was the one that was where his head was, near the bed.
I don't think we ever tested the blood to see whose was whose either, which I feel like could
We
do.
could do that.
I'm
I
gonna
just don't know
say
how many times am I going to
blood
ask
was-
Lane for a blood test.
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, I mean, that's how court works.
Yeah, he does test you guys for drugs on the reg. Like,
Can we just
all your piss.
install one into
Me
BGZ?
more often than everybody else, and I
Yeah.
don't know why.
So I'm going to say that the blood was his. I'm
Gotcha.
going to say that is what you would have done as part of your.
I just feel
investigation.
weird, like, because that seems to be a thing
That's
we
fair.
always want to ask. Like, I don't want to always ask the same question.
No, it's an important thing because
Can I
a
get
lot of
dental
people
records?
have blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still
98% of people in the Imperium have blood. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still got his own teeth. So yeah,
I feel like
dental
that's a
records
slightly
are-
too high a number for the Imperium.
Yeah.
I think you're actually. You know what? I said that out loud, and I think you're right. I think it's
Yeah.
probably a lot lower.
So, what did you learn from performing the autopsy?
There was that second shot in his throat there. Or
Yeah, there's
mouth,
a shot
rather.
that seemed to have gone up through his mouth into his brain.
I think his teeth were impacted.
Yes, his front teeth were back from the outside in.
Which implies to me that that even if that potentially could have been a suicide, it wasn't a suicide because you're not going to break. You're going to open your mouth wider around the barrel of the
The
pistol.
only thing
I don't
that
think-
it was
suicide
forced into his
as
mouth, if
are the
anything.
shots
Okay.
to the head.
Wasn't he tied up?
No.
No, he was not tied up.
Look, here's what I have written down: pooled blood by head and legs, bruises across legs, smaller bruises across forearms, likely defensive, large bruise right elbow, front teeth smashed and forced back in the throat, gunshot wound in thigh, las weapon not all the way, shot from above while sat or kneeling, gunshot wound left temple and exiting right. Last weapon, distinct circular wound, suggests it was against the skin. Soft pellet back of a mouth up into whatever. Yeah, the
Yeah.
brain shot.
And
in
there
the
was
room-
demons involved somewhere because I did a
Potentially.
demonology check and I passed. No,
Um,
I passed it. Although
you
there's something
passed
I
it
didn't scan yet, but was taken out to the room before I did the test.
potentially.
She said,
From the odd, that was all. That was really just like the
Autopsy,
extra
yeah.
bruises and stuff.
Another thing from the room, sorry, that you guys didn't mention was that there was a scorch mark on the wall next to his bed. From it seems that the shot through his temple impacted the wall, and then there's a small blood spatter there with the scorch mark of the exit wound coming through his temple. Cool. Next question. At the Lucasade roll, that was a failure with 1 degree of success. One more bottle of Lucasade goes tragically missing in the Imperium. This finite resource slowly disappears. So, next question. Who is responsible?
"Your mum."
But
Fuck. Got him.
We don't know quite yet.
That's okay. I'm not expecting answers to all these questions. If you did, we wouldn't need to do a session. Next question. What do you need to know?
Who did it?
Did it.
Everything?
Yeah, pretty much. Brilliant. Without further ado, then, it is the afternoon on your 4th day at the Scholar. You have 3 days until Lane returns. The bustle of the Scholar continues around you, uninterrupted by the grisly events you discovered. What's the plan?
I want to make it clear.
Yep.
Part of like opening up to Gunnar there and stuff too is taking a risk, but also I didn't want him going around telling everyone else and
Yeah.
whatnot either, which I believe I mentioned last time to him.
Yeah,
Is like,
you
listen,
basically said, listen, I'm part of the Inquisition. You know
well, he
this.
knows that.
Yeah. But you're very much like, went, huh? What? But you
Yeah, just
very
like
much
when
said, like,
our Famuel found
yeah.
out.
I
Or
send
no, who was
messages.
it? Who
Sometimes
was
it
the
messages me.
Well, you basically told him, we're having you on board this investigation. Keep your fucking lips sealed.
right? And then like, yes, there's information you can provide and this and that. But one of the main reasons I went to do it was also to prevent him from panicking other people and
Yes.
potentially alerting other people.
Smart thing to do. So yeah, what is the plan then? So it's sort of late afternoon. I'd say most of the lessons of the day have finished. If you remember, the lesson this morning was the one where you were sent out to find Dankett's body. Yeah, so you've got a little. Well, obviously lessons are continuing, but I imagine that you're more concerned with the murder than sitting in on the lessons. But if that's wrong, let me know, because I then have to rewrite the session.
Yeah,
So it's only fair.
We're done. Forget.
Yeah.
Who cares? He's dead.
I didn't like him. Fuck that guy.
Number 1 on my list, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's dead now. He's 0. He's
Yeah.
last. He's not getting picked.
I like that we're still going to consider taking him too.
Yeah,
That's my favorite part of that list.
Jackson doesn't get on the dropship back to the Ipcrest, but a fucking corpse gets loaded on via a coffin. Right. So I remember, Troc, last session you mentioned that a route you wanted to pursue was the teachers.
Right. So I want to find the information on them, but I also, so one thing Gunnar can explain, or at least try.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try to make sure he's like, be objective, not your own feelings. Like, how do these teachers act?
Okay. I think he gives you a brief rundown of each of the main tutors that he, as top of the Stormtroopers stream. He basically only interacts with the heads of school anyway. He says Hagen, who you remember is the drill abbot who tapped the metal rod against Ophamio's head and let out a hearty chuckle. He has a lot of respect for him. It's respect tempered by fear, I think, but it's also respect tempered by he knows that if any student was in trouble, Hagen would fight tooth and nail to make sure they're okay. He very much says they've got. He's very much got the good of the scholar at his heart. Idris Krohn, the commissar who's showing you around, he says that he comes across as quite harsh, but he, being quite new to the scholar and not as established as the other tutors, he's kind of got this lack of confidence in the kind of upper workings, he thinks. Obviously, all of this is from Gunner's perspective. It's very hard for him to be objective as a student. But yeah, he says Krohn is kind
also,
of... Yeah.
I'd be curious to hear from him how he kind of sees other people interact with them as well, other students. So this is your opinion of them, but your fellow candidates here,
Okay.
this one seems to like him. This one seems to,
I think, yeah. Okay. I think let's go back to Hagen then. So Hagen, I think that pretty much all the students quite like Hagen, with the exception potentially of Harding, who is the quite anti-authority one. Is not a huge fan of him particularly. Hang on, Uno sec.
I don't know. This is gonna be tough though. Huh.
Warwick's hair is looking very volumized right now, isn't it?
It does
Sorry
have a lot of
about
lift
that.
and balance, doesn't it?
I was just chatting about
Yeah.
putting the dishwasher on. What did I miss?
As we do.
I was just saying,
Yeah.
your hair's very volumized at the moment, Warwick.
Thank you. I've
Oh,
had it
so-
cut in a little while. I do need it trimmed.
Yeah.
It's just layers of
I've
grease.
gotten in the
so
habit of getting my beard trimmed more than my hair these days.
I
Because
need
it's only
that.
cost like the place around me. There's like 10 quid beard trim. So I get my beard trimmed maybe once every month and a half. Get my hair cut once every 3 months. And I just get a little bit more presentable on
Yeah,
average.
but the beard maketh man.
The beard maker, man. It's cause like the bits like
why-
behind my ears, but it starts joining up. It gets you werewolf looking.
Yeah.
Why is your northern border performing such a Gallipoli in withdrawing?
What?
He's making a reference to my hairline by referencing
Oh.
the outrageous treatment of Anzac soldiers in the First World War.
Oh my god, that photo of you as like
God,
a young
that's such an
kid, and you can like
on-topic thing.
see your forehead already becoming a seven head. It's hilarious.
The hair's there, it's just blonde, and now the blondness has disappeared, and now I've just got long hair.
Because the hair is gone.
Yeah.
I love how baldy people pose their hair light. It's just like such a grasp at straws.
It's rough. Anyway, Harding is is perhaps the only one who doesn't really give two shits about Hagen. Everyone else is quite similar to Gunnar, has a respectful awe of him. I think some obviously. Let's see. I think that. Who is it? Can't find it. I'm looking in my notes. Oh my god, where's this student? I'm missing a student in my notes.
What
This is
students?
terrible.
What do you mean
I'm
students?
missing-
We're in trench warfare right now, Warwick. What are you on about?
Oh my god.
Warwick, you have to wake up. The accident wasn't your fault.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Guys.
John's still here.
Britannians,
No, we're still on Al Jadar. So I was going to say that the student who I can't remember the bloody name of, but who's quite the zealot, is a big fan of Hagen, who kind of views him as, a top lad.
Was this the one we scared with the...
No, that was Grisha, you terrified, who is the one who had the
Repeat
mind
the name?
scraping. So that was Grisha, who had the mind scraping after the.
She has a greater respect. You're saying?
Oh, they offered the decent respect, but I'm trying to find it. I can't remember her bloody name. Jerome, sorry. So she was the one who was quite the zealot, who was the one that Hagen mentioned kind of became more faithful as she aged. So probably should have been put on the Sister of Battle stream, but is instead on the Stormtrooper stream because she showed it later in life. And he is respected a lot by her mainly because of his overwhelming faith. Let's see. Krohn, I think, he's respected quite a bit by most of the students. I think all of them are scared of him because he is they're pretty much scared of all adjectives. He's a commissar, especially, which is terrifying for most of them. But again, I think it is Harding and Gunnar who really don't give a shit about him. They are not a huge fan of him and his more authoritarian thing. That he kind of explains that he's a bit of a stickler for the rules. Tiny things like minor uniform violations will have physical beatings associated with them when they can be corrected there and then, which
So
Gunnar thinks is completely unfair.
He whip himself when we removed his leg because we had to destroy his uniform?
I think that was a battlefield situation where uniform are slightly relaxed. Sergeant Major
Emergency
Urson,
Medicaid.
Sergeant Major Urson Veld, the Imperial Guard trainer who teaches marksmanship, survival, and physical fitness.
Urson what?
Urson Veld, Veld.
Okay.
He is universally respected. It's very much they respect him not because he's a fantastic teacher, but because he has very much been there and done that and served several campaigns as part of the Acadians and has come out on the other side. He is very much an old soldier who knows his shit, so there is a sort of overwhelming respect for him. They don't fuck around with him because they know that he will put them in line, not just with
So
physical
that's the
strength.
answer.
Well,
Gangier fucked around and he found out.
Veld killed him.
I was going
around
to say,
and
like,
find
Veld, for being such an old hat soldier, you'd think he'd be able to pick up on somebody stealing things out of the...
Sorry, I realised we're still on the memes, so I changed back to the map. There.
Apparently
okay.
Nobody realized this security flaw.
It was Veld's lesson when these weapons went missing, or this weapon went missing. Master Linvar de Corbet, who was the administratum representative, who had the really exhilarating voice, who taught organisation, history, and imperial law. Pretty much everything. He generally spoke a little bit like this.
So it's Professor Bins from Harry Potter.
Every person pretty much doesn't.
I don't know
like
how
this
you can
prick.
talk like that without yawning yourself.
It's difficult. It's really difficult.
That's kind of nuts.
He says that it's quite hard to tell. Basically, it seems that everyone is. You ever get that teacher in school where like even the naughty kids just seem to not give a shit about like.
Not respect. It's just like whatever, you're there.
Exactly. He even the ones that aren't clearly fans of him just kind of shut up because it's not worth the issue. Can you imagine being told off by a guy who speaks like that? It will take you like 3 hours. So that they just don't have the time. Almanes Advanced Lucille Baynard, who is the member of the Adeptus Sororitas, who teaches medicine, faith, and mental purity. She's the one who kind of shat on Jerome for being such a zealot. Kind of said, hey, if you start talking back to savages for erecting a simple aquila when it's not up to standard, you're a dog.
Yeah, or if you open up there's a skeleton in a fucking capsule, you know.
God, that'd be nuts. Who would do that?
Oh, I love repercussions for actions. Anyway, they like her. He says that he feels that people like Jerome are a little bit like the waters with her a little bit. I think the more faithful candidates kind of have this feeling of like competition in faith. Like if they catch their tutor out for not being as faithful as them, it puts them ahead of them in terms of faithfulness. I think Jerome's especially like that, and she's kind of viewing faith on this very linear scale.
Yeah, they got a virtue signal
Basically,
than the other.
Yeah.
How has Jerome not been shot by her classmates before now? Because Jesus Christ. That would easily ruffle
that's
some
a
feathers.
crime.
Oh,
as you
Fabio has
potentially
flashbacks to his
Yeah,
time
that's
in his corner
illegal. You
project.
can't do that.
Okay. I want to change my answer. I think Lothar did it.
Oh, man, I'd shoot these pricks too.
Listen, just because I say I'm going to do it doesn't mean I actually did it. Jeez.
Okay, so that's kind of what Gunnar explains to you. I think, you sit him back down and you have this kind of conversation. What would you guys like to do then?
Well, we still... Or do we wrapped up the last of the interrogations already?
Yep, you finished the interrogation / job
also,
interviews.
For a matter of note, I'm obviously going to tell everybody my decision with Gunnar, even though I made it without their consent.
Yeah, you called it in on the Vox.
Isn't Ephemeral doing some cool tricks.
shit?
Oh no, he came back because I
came
summoned
back
him.
I came back and for some reason Orfamio had a sore throat at the time, so it might not be as clear as he wanted to be. But he came back after his kickflip in the skidoo, and he made sure the messages were sent across.
So, do we want to pick up after the last person left, and I go to the room across the hall?
I think so, yeah.
Where the door is still blown off.
Yeah, Gunner's been caught up with Amelia, so yeah, I think that's probably a good time as the last. I think it was Jackson was the last one who was very much the one who didn't want to join the Inquisition and doesn't really like being here, and he kind of wished you well for your search, but dropped out.
And then the last aside, oh wait, was this, and then it was the demon bit, or was the demon bit before
that was beforehand? That was after, I think. Grisha left.
Refresh me on the demon thing.
Yeah.
Why were we? There was a legitimate, non-joking reason that demons.
Demons were sensed by the demon sensor.
Yeah, so Orfamio's demon alarm went off. It's like a life alert kind of thing. Basically, Willem's mention, or a younger version of Willem, when he mentioned 2 letters KA and said, I will not speak his name for fear of drawing his ire or something like that.
Those meant to be the starting letters or the ending letters?
He said those are the final letters.
The final letters.
And then Tora had the brain blast about it being
it sounds like demons. And Orfamio double-checked his mind bank and went, yeah, it's demons.
I'll play for the Emperor's Grace and I can't get up.
But whether that's related to current murder investigation or other things, you're not entirely sure.
But we are a little bit sure, because when I went to the barracks to check the demon senses there, I got a tinkering. I got a little.
No, you got a
taste on the tongue.
That's the worst ASMR.
I got a positive one, and then I failed another one.
You passed the test, which was me telling you, ain't no demons here.
No, because you told me there was something else there. You told me that something that hadn't been investigated. I said a notebook.
There is a notebook.
You told me a certain notebook that might be of interest to me.
I never mentioned.
Please stop doing the mouth noises.
I never mentioned it was demonic, but yes, you guys.
No, but you implied it heavily. And if you lie in your implications, then what even are you?
Don't ask questions. I don't ask questions about what you do with your day. I didn't say.
Yeah, you guys have confiscated the late Danger's notebook and you have not read it yet. That was what I said last session.
Okay, well that sounds like a good place to start then.
Yeah. I think he has it. Is it Toro?
Probably. He was the one who investigated the room.
Yeah, I suspect Tora's got it.
So yeah,
Tora makes his way to the bathroom to begin the process of reading.
So you sit on the bog. So the notebook contains detailed notes on his lessons this year. His writing is quite brief but informative. It's very rich in detail. It's sort of well suited to a soldier. Occasionally, he has underlined sections of Psalms from his faith lessons on the value of perseverance in the eyes of the Emperor. The last page of the journal appears to have been ripped out.
Oh my god!
Wait, so it's open right now in front of us. Is this book open in front of us right now? Is very
Are we? I don't think we're all in the bathroom with him. I'm pretty sure Tora just left.
Can we do the pen trick and like
the pen wobble?
You know, like
draw the cool S.
Sketch really lightly over the back page of the journal.
I like
to see
that.
If we can.
Yeah.
See if we can pick up text.
Oh, okay.
See, I think you borrow a pen from like a passing.
Just
Tora pick it from his pocket as you're going.
Tora just sticks his hand out from underneath the toilet cubicle and grabs the first generic army boot and goes pen.
I like the idea he's gone to the student toilets as well to do this. Yeah. So. Yeah, give me an awareness roll.
You got the DM of God.
Give you a what roll?
An awareness roll. Or Contraraf, I've planned for this.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
That worries me.
Himself off guard.
Do I get a bonus for my genius idea?
I'll give you, as you're using a pen to find these indentations rather than your just big grubby hands, I'll give you a plus 15 on this. This is not going to... Okay, that's a failure
that's a
with 1
shame.
degree of failure.
I would like to use my fate points to automatically pass it.
With awareness, yes, you are absolutely able to do that as a dirty criminal scum. So, do you take this notebook back to people back in the room?
Oh God! Oh yes, hello, torpedo.
Does that mean you're actually dumping? Is that what's
there's
going
a dog.
Oh,
There we
oh
go.
God!
on? Oh,
Kill it.
Fenrir! Fenrir!
What'd
So-
you call him?
Fenrir.
The world wolf in Norse
No,
mythology.
they didn't call him Fenrir. He called him
Called him
like
No, I
Torpedo.
did.
a torpedo.
I called him Fenrir.
So, Tora, there is.
He's just sorry. He's just turned my screen off.
It's all right.
Sorry.
So, Tora, there is writing here. It appears to be a prayer. You're not the most pious of members of the party, so you do not recognize what it is. But it says, "The immortal emperor will greet me and embrace me with his holy aura, if only I remain constant to him through this time of torment." And you automatically passed, so I don't think you get any degrees of
Bonus.
success with that. Yeah, so that's, I'm afraid, all you're able
Unless
to.
it says he passes with a certain amount of success.
Yeah, could you check that for me?
Like, I'm pretty sure mine says
That's what I'm
something
I
thinking.
think
like that.
my one says that as well.
Yeah.
I
It's probably like equal to your awareness bonus or something, isn't it?
Yeah, my one's willpower bonus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's equal to intelligence for healing.
What is your awareness bonus?
Nah, it won't be awareness, it'll be one of the main ones.
be
Yeah,
spend
what
perception.
would be
fate
the-
to
it'd be
succeed
perception.
on
Sorry, it's perception.
awareness or inquiry.
What is your perception?
40.
Okay, so it's 4 degrees of success. Congratulations. Tora, as you're looking at this with your trousers around your ankles,
Dropping trowel.
you realise that the back inside cover where you have found these indentations with the pen, there are some very, very faint marks of a liquid seeping onto the page from whatever was previously above it. Very, very like droplets of a liquid on this. And you assume it's not piss because it was there before you opened the book in the toilet.
If Tora would like to taste it, like taste it, try to see if he can get a hint of something.
I would
Tastes
say
like pen.
you're getting a tiny, tiny bit of salt from it.
Okay, good. It's good semen. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Tora finishes up his business and wipes. Hold up. Let's
Please tell me not using the diary.
roll 1d10. It takes 8 wipes.
Diarrhea.
8 wipes.
Yeah.
And goes and relays this prayer and goes and relays the prayer and goes.
One of the
Amelia, can you test
stormtroopers,
for semen?
as you leave the toilet, one of the stormtroopers, the younger ones, these are not the guys you're investigating, but he noisily washes his hands as you walk out without washing.
Oh, I smash his head into the mirror.
He killed him immediately.
Like as he's like noisy going like splush 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 splush. I like
Staring at
grab
you.
hand from behind, smush him into the mirror, and be like, only a traitor washes their hands loud enough for everyone to hear.
Don't need to wash my hands. Got a clean dick.
A true son of the Emperor has clean hands and clean dick in silence.
He mumbles out a yes, my lord, as you smush his face up against a mirror. And yeah, you head back into the interview room that everyone other than Amelia is. Although I imagine Amelia might have come back at this point.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, right?
Yeah.
I cannot believe you guys.
Well, I just realised that Famuel's cool snowmobile adventure is no longer on this map.
Yeah, sorry.
Aw.
No.
All the dragon I drew.
I know.
So,
Penis points is back though.
Penis points is always there.
you found this prayer and a slightly salty liquid.
Lothar and Orfamiel, you recognise this prayer as a section from the prayer from the relief of torment, which is a common prayer recited by soldiers in pain.
I'm gonna assume Ears
No, I
not
don't.
come?
Let me see if I notice that as an Imperial Guardsman. Actually, that'll be fun.
Give me common law adept Astra Militarum or whatever it is on there.
I don't know anything.
I'm gonna say you guys recognise it. It is like insane.
Remember, I've never had to use it.
Absolutely. Emilia. Delayed response there, Rav. Yeah. Emilia, you recognise this as tears, not semen, because that's probably a test you have had to do already in your poor life.
This
For Tora.
With Tora in aboard the Ipcrest.
Yeah.
It's always a worry.
Yeah. But yeah, those are tears. All the very, very dried remains of tears. You reckon they were probably from given how dry they are, given the temperature here, you reckon probably from the day before, if not late last night, early morning.
If you don't... Oh, I know. I was going to say, if you could write the thing down. There it is.
Yes.
This is something he wrote, but it's a prayer.
You have no... actually, yeah. Looking at the rest of it, it does seem to match his handwriting.
So, I guess, yeah, it's just... Okay, so it seems like something was really, like, going wrong with him then, but don't seem like self-inflicted wounds either.
Certainly some significant.
Was something after him,
here.
maybe?
I have a thought that hurt my head. If we're unable to trust anybody here, as they are all suspects, I especially Logar.
BGZ stares at Latha.
Of course, BGZ, you could not be a suspect. You are too good, my sweet summer child.
I mean, if we want to start eliminating people...
But I think maybe we bring down the Cleo Stormtrooper platoon, just in case. So we have some muscle that we know could not have been involved because they weren't on planet.
BGZ says, I also do not remember killing orphans, because that is technically part of his programming, and everyone here is an orphan. Secondly, the Ipcrest is not in orbit.
Oh.
You do not have support.
Crom is the guy's name, right?
Crone, yes.
I know.
K-R-A-O-L-N.
He
got his bolt pistol.
I was gonna say
we rescued him.
We rescued him. We got his bolt. I feel like wouldn't fuck around with us. All things considered.
All may stray from the Emperor's line.
It would be a very poor timing for him to do something as we show up.
Walk loudly and carry a small gun is what my father always told me.
I mean, I guess it could. You could say it's good timing if we're gonna say he's not a suspect. I don't know. Regardless, what reason would he have to kill a student?
At this point, what reason do any of them have to kill the student?
Well, that's the thing. It almost seems like the answer is nobody. It seems like he had some other trouble in his life going on.
He appeared to be, even though he was essentially kept back a year, he appeared to be excelling at his academic studies. He was well liked.
But according to this journal, it looks like something was bad.
Does appear to have been in some form of torment, or going through a time of torment, as the prayer says.
Definitely seems like that. It's either that or it's some kind of a ruse from whoever had his diary last.
Wait, how do you know? How do you know about those beasts? I've not seen them since Straya.
What beasts?
The ruse. How do you know about our secret? We're going to have a long conversation about this later.
I really don't want to do that again.
I've tried it before.
Actually, I side with Orf. Oh, I side with Orphan. Well, I don't really do well with.
So the Ruse are one thing, and the Conga are another.
Yeah.
Two warring tribes.
Yeah. That's the prison gangs Tora was. The Kangas and the Roos.
This is
Both of them.
worst
both of them
West
have
Side
furry
Story
mascots
ever.
as a logo.
Worst of all, those baby-eating dingoes.
When you're a Roo, you're a Roo. All right.
When the Roo hits your eye.
That's a Kanga.
So what is the current plan then? So you've got 3 days until Lane gets here.
Yeah, and if he finds out that a student has died
3
while we're
days
here, we're
to
gonna get in a lot of trouble.
Right.
If we just execute
fuck.
everyone.
I feel like I've got a bunch of pieces to make like a decent guess, and if this were a board game,
Well,
I'd just give it a shot and see if I won. But
well, why don't we just continue with the plan as is, but we invite the teachers there?
what?
Can we?
To the hallucinarium. Were we not doing that plan? Has that changed?
Oh yeah,
Do
we
you
need
the
to.
plan
think the
for
teachers are
hallucinarium.
gonna go into this?
But
wanna
we need to
hear
do
it?
this soon before Jackson tells everyone else that, because we told him that he's dead.
What do you mean? What we
You
told
didn't tell Jackson.
I didn't tell Jackson anything. What are you talking about? Did you tell
No.
Jackson something?
You only told
No,
Gunnar.
Gunnar
You told Grisha.
Oh fuck! Do we have to kill Gunnar?
Tora told Grisha that Dangir had his legs broken and was currently in the infirmary.
Oh yes,
that's right.
What was the line that Tori used to summon a family for good cop, even
He
a
said,
bad cop?
"Come in, Jack the Ripper style."
Oh yeah, that was it.
But he also said, as Orfamio was going, "Don't look at me with those eyes. Look at him. Wait, why aren't you looking at me? I'm talking to you. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you." And then Tora in the background yelled over the top of him, "You're scared of me? I'm the good cop," which was
that fucking killed me.
It was
I
the
love
funniest thing.
I still think that "How did you get on this secure line?" might be one of my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, oh my god, I love that.
There's
so much.
nothing that's going to top that shit. That was
But no,
amazing.
Gunnar is not or should not be talking to other people at this point. Like that was part of the reason of filling him in. And in fact, he could even be here now with us if we wanted him to be. I'd be curious to hear his opinion on like who does he think would have it in their off who or what for that matter for Dangir.
Sure, you can bring him in if you want.
Yeah, we'll get Gunnar back in.
He takes off his cap and kind of stands awkwardly by the desk, having been here previously, and then basically called you all a bunch of liars. He's a little bit humbled.
Gotta take a seat. Take a seat right over here. Just take a seat. Take a seat right over here.
He takes the seat.
Where does he store it?
Oh, he puts it right in his pocket. Funny joke there.
I love playing games with my dad.
Like hide the sausage.
And what's in your blanket?
But I mean, I feel like at least for now, because we're taking the leap on him here. To just kind of fill him in on the journal and whatnot, and like, what else do you know about Dangir here? How do you does this make sense in any way?
He seems quite surprised by this. He says, "Well, Dangir never showed any signs he was going through any struggle. Are you sure this isn't just him writing, down his notes from the lesson or something?"
The tears would indicate otherwise.
I suppose so. But why is it torn out?
Someone's trying to hide something. And if there's something
or
my eyes
whoever
see,
killed him.
my eyes see things that hide.
I forgot.
What did you forget?
Fuck. Fate that.
Fate that demonology roll.
Yep.
Okay, so you passed the demonology roll. What do you want to know?
Yep. I want to know, is there any demonic energy coming off the book? And if so, what source of demonic energy is it?
You are not getting any demonic energy from this book.
Okay. Am I getting any? Am I getting a taste?
I'm picturing Orfamio licking the air in front of Gunnar.
I am. Like think of it like that. He's just going,
yeah.
like out of nowhere, Orfamio kind of his nose flare out of nowhere, and then he just kind of goes,
doesn't have a nose anymore.
He doesn't have a nose anymore. Like, what about that? The what does he have? Like,
He's got a
there's
big
like
rebreather. Like,
think of like those like LED strips. Like
yeah.
underneath the rebreather, there's a very small LED kind of like light thing in there, and it briefly changes color, like the end of a cigarette lighting up when somebody's having a draw, and then it goes down again, and then all you hear is this kind of where you can kind of hear something clicking inside of there at the same time as what used to be lips are smacking against each other, and an old shriveled melted tongue with some some small adjustments inside of it so it can still taste his lovely meat and eggs. Is kind of hitting against it. And does he taste, as he does this, he walks around the chairs, he's walking around the room, looking in the corners. Good. Is there any demonic presences or...
You are getting
whatnot?
No demonic presence, either from this book, this room, or anyone here.
I do have a question.
I did all of that for fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
You did all of that to confirm.
Nothing.
Okay.
I have a question though. The whole like thing with the toilets, right? Initially, we all like fucking failed noticing. But is it possible to notice? Like, have we noticed since then?
I don't think you've been back to your rooms since they were blocked.
Well, they told us they were blocked, but we initially didn't see the guys like coming in to deal with it or something like that. I don't know, whatever. But I'm just curious. Then, what? Maybe there's a reason for the blockage.
Yeah. Do one of you want to go back to your room and see if it can flush again?
Oh, can I take
Can I not just go to like Kroll and like ask because he was in charge of?
You give him a call. Hello.
Tora is running, just headlong down the hallway. You mentioned the word like private toilet. He grabs a grenade and he's running.
This may not be relevant, but has the toilet situation been handled yet?
I believe they are. Well, the plumbing has been fixed, and now they're just running some routine maintenance on the.
Was there anything abnormal? Like what actually happened that would cause?
I'm not sure. I've not seen the gentleman who went down there. It's well, I assume I'll get a report. He said that there's a routine checks that need to be done on the geothermal plants down there. All the heating here is powered by that sort of thing. So
all right, set us up a meeting with these plumbers.
Well, he's down in the sewers and his team, I assume. I can try and contact him. But
do we want to go into squat land?
Oh my god. The squats are going to sabotage the geothermal.
I swear to God, if there's squats involved in this murder mystery, I'm done.
He says over the phone, I'm picturing him in his office as well, like doing this. Like, there's an access route down into the sewage system, the boiling room here. If you, I can unlock it for you. If you wish.
But
Tora, as he's running back to his room, Tora, he. Oh, actually, no, he probably wouldn't. It's not like this is the shared channel on the microbead, is it?
No, I'm calling him on the phone, whatever.
All right, well, continue on. In another 15 seconds, Tora is flushing a grenade down the toilet.
Again, when would you get a report by? What was that?
It could be a while. Apparently, there was some scheduled maintenance that was meant to occur on our geothermal plants down there, which has not happened for quite a few centuries. So there's lots of quite a backlog to do, apparently.
Interesting.
Bro.
Well, when you do get information, let us know.
Well, I've not heard from them since the evening they arrived. Actually, they've not got back to me other than telling me they're going to be a while.
And when were you expecting them to respond?
Well, I expected them to come back, get down there, sort the blockage, and come back. But they seem to have not done that. Well, they sorted the blockage at least. I suppose that's the important thing.
Toilets are running again.
Yeah, that's the main thing. But they said, whilst they're down there, there's some maintenance to be done.
Okay. The shuttle's still here?
All right, thank you. And then on the
no, their shuttle's left.
And then I quickly, after hanging up on him, turn on the comms and say, "Tora, stand down."
Oh, Tora has got like
to a hole.
it then cuts to Tora, like one hand over in the toilet seat, grenade pin in his mouth.
Yeah, there appears to be a delay with the team that's been down into the toilets or the sewage system.
If there's been a delay, I think we need to get the plumbing brothers together. Or Samuel, go get your green overalls.
Or Family turns round, there's a punch in his hand. Eviscerate another hand.
And we've been in sewers before, but anyway, I mean, like, yeah, I assume Tor will like come back and can kind of mention some of this, like, could be connected. I don't know that I want to just go hunting in the sewers while this is going on. If it's unrelated.
I have trained for this day for 15 years,
and I can
ever since the toilet squats took my Uncle Touchy from me.
Gunnar raises his hand.
Who's all here right now with us in this group?
Everyone's here, including Gunnar.
Yeah.
He raises his hand.
I said Gunnar. Yeah, okay, first of all, Gunnar, I'm going to need one size 12 left boot, one size 13 right boot.
I was going to ask what a
oh, God!
What happened there, huh?
I'm being attacked by my own toilet goblins.
Oh.
No, we're talking about it's the toilet goblin in the game.
I can hear them now at the window.
No, they can see the dog. Hold up.
I was just when Gunnar asks what a squat is, it's like...
Well, he knows what a squat is. He doesn't know what a toilet squat is.
A toilet squat is like, well, you want to go in the sewers with Tora and find out?
Yeah. Go into the sewers with me, Gunnar.
He kind of looks around as he looks around the assembled party. I think BGZ gives him a very small mechanical thumbs up. And Gunnar says, well, I suppose I will.
Here's what I'm thinking. We still have other investigations and stuff to do at the time.
Oh.
If some people want to go down there, we'll just simply stay in communication, and if there is a problem, we can easily hop down ourselves. I mean, the point being is I'll be staying up here until there's a problem down there.
Well, Fabio starts counting his fingers, like 1, 2, 3, and as he gets like 6, he goes, I think I might need my flamer.
Fair enough. All your weapons are back in your room.
There's a nest of toilet goblins.
Gunnar, go to my room, get me my flamer.
Yes, my lord.
I just like it's about to get real. This is a real Inquisition now.
Yeah. Gunnar leaps out of the room and he's fucking hyped. He's running there with full speed, and then soon after, about 20 minutes later, he comes back with your flamer.
Yeah. Good job, Gunnar. I give him a fist bump.
Thank you, my lord, he says.
As he leaves in for the fist bump, though, I sort of a high five.
Oh, hang on.
Oh shit, it's a turkey.
An awareness, it's an athletics check from Gunnar.
This is a sleight of hand check.
Quick question I get from Amelia. It's like, so who actually wants to go on this expedition, and who wants to remain up here searching other clues? Obviously, Tora and Gunnar.
I've been looking for a chance to hunt down one of these toilet squat empires for years now.
Gunnar kind of turns to the group and says, with respect to the mighty Tora here, I would we could have other accompaniments as well.
Just two bros chilling in the sewer, 5 feet apart, because.
Honestly, I would
stand
suggest BGZ. Are you interested? Chance there might be something to fight down there.
Continuing the BGZ buddy cop. Tora
BGZ
buddy
says,
cop.
I cannot smell.
I think that's an affirmative.
He smells awful.
I cannot smell, but I can fight.
Sewers equals optimum combat environment, he said. If you remember, the last time BGZ was in a sewer, he turned to Viridius and said, Viridius, if I still had working orifices, I would shit in your mouth.
I do remember that.
BGC does as well.
Oh, was this underneath the pleasure dome?
That was.
Yeah, that's in the pleasure dome.
Oh, this is when the shuttle pilot almost took you guys out.
Yeah.
Where he donked me in the fucking head as he was going up.
Yeah. So who's going down to the sewers then? So we got Tora, Gunnar, and BGC.
Do you want to go on a sewer adventure, Matt?
Going as well.
Oh, I'm definitely going in. Yeah.
Perfect.
I got the flamer. This one could get in there and do like you know that scene in Alien where like she's crawling through the vents and like the alien comes up there and she like fires a flamethrower.
All of a sudden just gonna be like you're in the sewers with a fucking Skitari, this mad Australian man, and a priest with a flamethrower. Just like, how did you get here?
Yeah, you're probably wondering how I got in this situation. Well, it started off with the Empress Holy Inquisition. So we've got the two smartest members of the party, Amelia and Lothar, who are going to stay surface side. Perfect.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I'm just Lothar.
Oh yeah, no, they have plenty of people on that journey.
First of all,
I don't want to go
Lothar,
in
the
the
smart
sewer.
one of the smarter people in the party.
I chose not to go in the sewer. Yes.
Again, keep in communication. Like, give 15-minute updates, etc.
You guys are on standby, basically up top.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So you guys make your way over towards the main scholar building from your little wing where you were doing your interviews. So.
I do have a quick question though.
Hello.
Because distance is always something that's difficult for me to grasp at times. I've got my connection to everybody.
Yes. I'm going to say, well, we'll see, actually. We'll see what happens as they go into the sewers.
I could as well just like move around the building to stay on top as well.
Yes.
While reading text and doing other things.
Yeah. So, you four, including BGZ and Gunnar. So the stairs down to the sewers after Kron unlocks them seem to continue for an age. You realise you must be descending down below the thick layer of ice and down into the stone actually beneath it. Despite the howling cold on the surface, it is warm and sweaty down here. You find yourself in a wide, long corridor, its far end disappearing off into the darkness beyond. On the left-hand wall is a series of pipes emanating with heat. On the right side, there are more pipes, though substantially colder than the ones opposite. It is unerringly quiet, save for the buzzing of the small lights set far apart in the cramped ceiling. I take it you guys start heading off. It sort of veers off into the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How far ahead is it you said we can see?
I'm going to say you could probably see about 300 meters ahead of you before the lights are too far away. And it looks as if it's narrowing because of the perspective. So you.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you mean. But like, there's not like it's not this covered with shadows. It is quite clear.
I'd say there's a light
so.
There's a dim light maybe every 15 feet.
Can I say Tora has gone to get a flare gun to burn out this infestation?
I don't think you've got a flare gun in your inventory.
I've got a portable flare gun for short range.
That is true.
Wait, maybe I do as well. Okay, I'll say that.
So yeah, you guys begin walking. What's happening to Lothar and Amelia back on the surface?
Tora would like to immediately go native. By the way, he gets into the sewer and he sticks his finger and gets they're here and does the combat lines underneath his eyes
with the shit.
There's no open sewage running through this sewer.
No, there doesn't have to be. Tora can make. Tora can make his own mud.
He can do.
Yeah.
Boo.
Gunnar kind of turns to you, Tora, as you're doing this. It's just, what are you doing?
You see, my young Padwina, the toilet squats can't actually. The toilet squats respond to eyes, and they see this as 4 eyes, and therefore twice as scared. It's a technique to stop the toilet squat infestation from attacking you out of the blue.
Deputy Officer BGG gives you a firm pat on the shoulder as he walks on with you.
We're currently going into the sewers to fight some toilet squats, dear.
This is a serious campaign for serious
This is a
people.
very serious roleplay campaign for very serious people.
If there literally are squats down there, I mean, I'll go shit himself. But
So BGZ has said your logic is profound, he whose arms are mighty. But...
Tora goes, yes, there may be many hundreds of them.
The BGZ lets out another string of binary, which you don't understand. And you four press on, weapons ready. So yeah, what's happening up on the surface?
None of us speak
I can't believe I didn't have to go in the sewers.
But we've established BGZ thinks that Tora can understand.
Yeah.
It just thinks it's quite rude.
Like, if I was just literally walking behind this, watching this going on, like, yeah, this makes sense to me. Nothing here is out of place at all.
I'm assuming until you say otherwise that I'm still within range of everybody.
I'm going to say for now, yes. The signal does
So
appear to be getting a little bit staticky.
I've got eyes on. If anything, I'm giving them the codex scan bonus.
I don't think you can do that via your
only
eyepieces.
Combat, or what? Oh, well, what's the deal?
Oh, as in sorry, your upgrades. Sorry, I thought you meant your Auspex scan, which is a physical
Codex
thing.
scan says traits, talents, and abilities revealed. Obviously, there's nothing there. I'm just saying, like, ahead of time.
Yeah, I think you are watching with your.
Yeah, so they're just seeing like little bits of data popping up, like this is a rock.
It appears to be. It's little things like the wattage of the light bulbs and shit like that. It's very basic stuff. And yeah, actually, your analysis of the pipe seems to be the left-hand pipes coming towards the main scholar seems to be steam, and on the right-hand side it does appear to be sewage. So yeah, what else is happening on the surface?
Well, what else do we have to investigate would be the question.
Well,
we have we've gone through the students, and we know a bit about the teachers. I mean, I don't see anybody that stands out as all that guilty, to be honest.
I've still got some misgivings here about having Gunnar involved in this in the first place, but
it's better than him going around informing other people and creating a bigger problem. Having him busy right now, I think, was why I made the decision.
Oh, maybe you're right. Still,
I mean, he could be the culprit, of course.
But then he's with. No, never mind. I'm not there. But then he's with the two most dangerous members of the party, and like,
yeah, it's like,
how'd you get back here so quickly?
And if he is, remember what they did to an innocent woman.
Yeah, I'm having trouble forgetting that
innocent
one.
Proves nothing.
Only a traitor deals in absolutes.
Well, I guess supposedly innocent. We don't know her either.
Hey, which woman are you talking about? Because I'm trying to track it off my list of NPCs you've murdered.
No, not murdered, not murdered.
It was bad cop.
It was bad cop, worse cop.
That's fine.
What they did to her.
Yeah.
Just for questioning. Imagine if they find out Gunnar is the problem and they're right next to him.
Yeah, I think Gunnar is.
I guess it's true.
Gunnar is quite. He's not nervous. He seems to be alert. He just has his combat knife with him. He is. He doesn't have a draw, but he seems to be paying attention and
this kid is dying down here.
Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah, anything else on the surface?
Well, the only thing I can think of that I'd really like to check out is honestly to figure out what is going on with Veld, but we haven't really even talked with him yet, have we?
Which one's that?
He's the Imperial Guards. He's the guardsman who was heading up a bunch of the stealth classes and things, firearms, that sort of deal.
Well, you figure out what's going on with him in what sense.
I can't shake the feeling that, like, if he's as decorated as he is, you learn real quick to keep your eyes peeled and your head on a swivel. How didn't he notice that somebody was stealing from the armory?
Well, I mean, first off, does he check?
I would hope.
Well, clearly nobody really thought about this here.
I'm not saying we're in a scala full of winners. I'm saying that clearly this person who's supposed to be physically there in the room didn't.
He's not the quartermaster.
No, but he was there, right?
So Krohn explained that they run sort of weekly checks on the inventory just by pulling up the servitors logs. No one actually goes in and checks what's there because they didn't realize it was an issue that the servitor was able to be worked around.
Right, this is basically an
Oh, right.
automated system that they
Yep.
assumed worked.
They got an email every week saying everything's
I-
back, and they go, brilliant, no need to check.
Amelia, I wish I could express to you how poorly the guard works, and just because something's written down doesn't mean you get it, right? Like, I think that's what I'm trying to say to you, right? Like you're not keeping into account human error, and there's somebody there who has seen that for at least a few months, if not years, if he's a vet, and
Okay,
he
well,
should have seen it.
let's assume. Like, I mean, fine. I mean, I don't. However you want to check on him, fine by me. But like, let's just assume he was the culprit. What's the motive? Why would he kill a student? What would be the point of that?
I don't know, but we're suspecting everybody, right? So,
Well, yeah, but you still got to establish a motive.
I mean, if I were really well decorated, okay, I'm moderately. If I were really well decorated, I don't think I'd want to be sitting in some frozen waste out in the middle of nowhere teaching a bunch of preppy kids
And
about
so
how
you
to
kill your
do
best
soldiering.
student.
I'll admit I got nothing on that one then. But he should have seen something. There's got to be a reason why he didn't. Was there maybe somebody else who was distracting him, or maybe it was even Danger himself who was talking to him and somebody else swiped his gun? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Makes no damn sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'll investigate anything right now.
That's the Inquisition.
I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of information, but nothing that adds up, and I'm curious what we'll learn in the sewers. I mean, if our past experience is anything to go by, those plumbers aren't coming back.
They're gonna get hit by a Valk. Oh, yeah, that. Probably not.
There's probably something going on down there, which may or may not be related. So I'm waiting for that data.
Fair.
So, speaking of the sewers, it is unknowingly quiet, save for the buzzing of the small lights.
Taurus singing working songs as he does it.
As you walk, more and more pipes connect with those either side of you. The right-hand pipes are joined by hundreds of smaller ones from above, and the left is being fed by many wider pipes coming from the ground beneath your feet. Movement here is cramped. You can walk no more than 2 abreast, and Orfamiel, you even have to duck your head slightly as the overhead pipes get in your way.
I limbo.
There once was a surgeon named Keith, who circumcised men with his teeth. 'Twas not for leisure or sexual pleasure, but to get to the cheese underneath.
Gunnar laughs at that and then quickly corrects himself.
As he laughs, I turn to him and say, "What are you laughing at?"
Nothing, he says as he keeps walking. B2C's helmet crest keeps clanging quite noisily up against the pipes.
You're laughing at me? He's the funny one.
So you check your timepieces as you walk.
Is it on the overlay?
Yeah, I think so. And speaking of the overlay, I think around now, Amelia, you lose visual contact with them.
How will we track our kills?
Like, okay, it's cutting out and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But...
You've still got audio, but you can still talk to them over the voice. But yeah, you've lost.
As well, my bonuses for them won't reach either, I assume. Or
that is correct.
Yeah,
they are visual based. So after about 40 minutes of this steady travel, you reach a sudden junction. To your left, the left-hand pipes turn a corner and head off into another cramped corridor, the ceiling lower than your current one. Directly ahead, the right-hand pipes continue off towards the southeast. Could I get a perception test, please, from everyone down there?
Any changes?
Sorry, awareness, not perception.
Okay, any changes?
No, give me this.
I fail.
That's fair enough. So that's BGZ rolling.
I can't. Oh,
Oh, look at that.
Okay, Tora, that was a 52. Target is 50.
oh! Don't grumble at me. You're sitting on my dick, you stupid silly dog.
I'm just going to roll for
I'm gonna.
Gunnar, who also fails. Sorry, both those rolls were as BGZ, but you know what I mean. Yeah, brilliant. So there seem to be two paths then. Unless anyone would like to use fate, but otherwise, there
Oh,
is.
fuck it. I'll use fate.
Are
I
you
passed
sure?
with 4 degrees of success.
Oh, okay, 4 degrees of success. So the pipes are now humming with whatever is being transported in them. Just then, a noise breaks up the monotony. A sharp metallic clang, metal on metal from the left. You also hear something echoing down from this left-hand tunnel. It seems to be a sudden shout, a single syllable, its meaning and language muffled and distorted by the echoes so that it is unrecognizable. And
Or pulls out his knives and starts Naruto running.
from the path directly ahead of you, you begin to hear what sounds like howling wind. Which route would you like to go?
Can you foliate these?
So
Wind.
three paths.
Wind.
One on the left, metallic clanking
Sorry,
and
there's
the sounds of a
two
shout.
paths.
Okay, and the other one is wind.
So there's left and straight on. Straight on is wind, left is a metallic clang and some kind of shout.
Well, we've already split the party once. Why don't we split the party again?
Okay, what way do you want to go? Let's do rock, paper, scissors. If I'm rock, I go left. If I'm paper, I go right.
Okay. Scissors, paper, rock.
I go scissors.
Yeah, I go rock. Tora just sprints down the hallway like knives out.
Okay. BGC, I think, comes with you, Tora, to the left. Gunner then, I take it, goes with you or Samuel.
Yeah. I look at him, like look him dead in the eyes. What did I see?
I think you see eagerness.
Okay, I say, Gunner, can I trust you?
He nods his head and says, "Yes, my lord."
Fuck, I'm going to reroll that. I'm going to read that word. There you go.
You have intimidated him with your big glowing eyes, and yes, he says, "You can trust me, Othamiel."
Don't fuck it up. And I start walking downwards.
Perfect. So the ceiling gets lower, Tora, as you run. BGZ runs behind you, his metallic feet clanking on the stone. Eventually, it is no more than 5.5 feet tall. You find that the temperature is rapidly growing warmer and beads of sweat are building on your brow, not least because of the speed you're moving at. At the end of the corridor, it turns to the right and you are unable to see further. Could I get another awareness test, please?
This is me?
No, this is for Tora, sorry, on the left-hand path.
Yeah, I thought so.
Wow, that's 100. You go deaf. You don't hear anything coming around the corner.
Okay, so Tora has a 50-50 shot of passing an awareness check at the best of days, yes. Tora has never, ever passed an awareness check.
You just brute force it.
I just fate pointed.
That's the 100 systems, baby. That's how it works. So yeah, it sort of veers off to the right and you're unable to see around the corner. It does appear to be still lit, though.
If Tora doesn't hear or see anything, he's still... Oh, he can't really run like Naruto run with his knives out, can he?
It's quite a low ceiling.
Does the little Scythe Junior glow like a nightlight? Like crackles of green energy?
So, because it's not powered. It's just the metal of it, as far as I'm aware.
All right, well,
very much reforging it rather than reattaching it to another power supply.
Well, the arc maul definitely glows. So Tor is just like crackling the arc maul a little bit to like give off some light.
Perfect.
Makes his way around the corner.
Around the corner, the room opens up, the ceiling raising. There is a large pumping machine of some archaic pattern. Numerous pipes feed into it below, each wide enough to swallow a man.
And it was that Arkan fuck.
Before the machine is a figure wearing a boiling suit, a large leather backpack stuffed with tools you do not recognize. He stands around 4.5 feet tall and is broadly built. Though you can only see his back, you see him poring over a data slate that is wired to the large machine. It does not appear that he has noticed you.
4.5 feet, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Bora would like to stealthily make his way up on him.
Make a stealth roll, please.
I see.
BGZ has taken the knee and has raised his radium carbine.
Do I get a bonus for him being in a boiler suit?
How would that make it harder for him to detect you?
Well, because no, I'm thinking like a hazmat suit.
Yeah, it's a boiling suit. His head is exposed. You can see he's
Okay.
bald. You are able to successfully approach the figure without them realizing you are there.
Tora would like. Oh, fuck. Yes, dog. Goodbye, dog. Tora would like to reach one arm around his mouth, and the other with a knife, just a little Scythe Junior, just around his other hand, in his other hand,
Okay.
and just go shh.
As you do so, as you wrap one arm around his face, you feel a bushy red beard. You hear a sudden curse in a language you do not recognize, and you see his free arm reaching down to a holster at his hip.
Did you say you feel a red beard?
As in, like, you can see it because you're closer. You've also taller than him.
Tora feels the color. Oh. Tora would like to judo slam him onto the ground if he's still going for the.
Make a weapon skill roll. Perfect. Yeah, I think you kind of suplex this guy is what I'm picturing. I think you launch him back over yourself, and he slams down onto his back. He's stunned momentarily, and you get to see a broad...
Tora like on top of him, like knees in his shoulder blades.
So you see
What are
a
you
broad,
doing?
ugly face with a large, wide nose. From his nostrils down.
Sorry, the dog is just having a grumble.
That's all right. That's a really important character moment for you, and I'm glad we got "Why Don't You Suck My Dick" on recording for the people at home. So
actually, hold up. I'm gonna have to take a second. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We were having fun.
No.
Yeah, I just mute myself when I'm not involved.
Yeah, good. I'm having fun.
Sorry, I have cheesy hands.
Oh, I love it when you talk like that, Critter.
Me too. There we go. Oops. Wrong thing.
I do find it interesting the pairings we end up with this group.
I need advice, guys. I don't know whether or not I want to order food. I kind of want to order food.
How hungry are you feeling?
I've only had one thing to eat today. I'm pretty hungry, and like
Order
the only
what
food I
food?
have
Go.
what's
the
I
color
have
for
like
that?
a pizza in the fridge I can make, but I don't really want to like eat that pizza. To be honest, I was kind of thinking like someone like get some chicken shawarma. It's like sent to the flat.
Do that up.
This moving phase has been so tired. I've been moving for like the past 2 days. I'm so tired.
Oh, treat yourself. What are you doing then?
I have issues with this flat as well. My last flat was shit. Thank God I'm out of there. But I have like a serious damp potential issue here, and I need to see what they say tomorrow when they get back to the email I sent them. Annoying to deal with.
Good God. Can they not just get you a place that's got 4 walls and a roof?
I have that, but the walls are wet.
Gross.
No one likes moist walls.
Oh, why'd you have to say it that way? Why'd you have to say it that way? You didn't have to.
Dripping, gushing walls.
Paulette.
Towelette. You're a towelette. No, I say go for it. If you've been working your ass off and stuff like that, treat yourself. It's like, why the hell not? Also, if you had to rate it on, like, I don't know, let's call it a health bar of hunger, right? So, like, from green to red, where are you at? Green being
purple, I
totally
guess.
fine. So does that? What the fuck?
I'm
What games
guessing
are you
it.
playing with purple?
Do I
Don't
want
call your
do
dog a
I,
bitch.
do I want rice or bread with it? What do you guys think?
Bread.
Rice.
All the way. Oh.
Oh, we've
I
got
don't know what we're talking about.
yeah,
What are we having
tiebreaker.
rice or bread with?
Chicken shawarma.
Oh, rice. What? Here? You can have it with both. Have a bit of rice and you have some bread and you like naan bread.
Naan is bread, so it's bread.
Yeah.
Bye.
What?
Well, bye.
Uh,
Naan means bread, so you know.
I forgot.
Yeah.
The last one was Magpie. What's this one's name again?
So far,
Called
it's
it-
Toilet Gremlin.
Yeah, Toilet Gremlin.
I can either get a wrap or I can get a box, and the box is either bread or rice with it.
Get a wrap.
I don't know. I would say box, and then I would say do rice for the box one.
Yeah. So Tora. So sorry. Wait. Tora had this
getting rice.
bearded short figure trapped
Oh, boy.
underneath him. And Tora would like to hold a knife under his jaw and go like, "Tell me where the city of the toilet squats are."
Roll intimidate for me, please.
Do I get a bonus for having a knife in the man's face?
Yeah, I'll give you a +20 bonus on this, so you can see absolutely did not expect to be intimidated here.
Oof.
You, as you put your knife through the man's beard to where you assume his neck is, he kind of tries and holds you off slightly. Basically, it's a torrent of abuse in a language you do not recognize, but deep within your heart, you know what it is. And eventually, he says, "By the ancestors, get off of me!"
Can I
Tora,
get this a voice change? Is that
No.
let's see. Roll.
Are you just going through your skill sheet to just try and find more
No.
things to roll?
Tora goes to push the knife through his throat. Tora knows what this is.
Cool. Make a weapon skill roll plus 30 for me, please, because you are effectively trying to pin this guy down.
Fuck.
That is a failure with 2 degrees of success. I'm going to say that the fellow is able to, with strength that is somewhat shocking, manages to shove you off. He then reaches down to his holster, draws a heavy revolver, and fires without aiming at you at close range. And let me roll to see if he hits, because that's generally how combat works in these. Give me uno secondo just to bring up his sheet. Go. This is going to be no aim. You're basically lying on the floor next to him. He pulls it out and he's firing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a standard shot, and he hits, dealing. What's your armor?
Where in my body does it hit?
43. So I believe that is your central
Body.
body.
So the top number is 6. The bottom number is 9.
Yeah. Okay. So that reduces that by what's the penetration? So that reduces that by 7.
My armor and defense seems weird. I've got one that says AR and 3. That's that, but then the others is 2 and soak.
So the bottom number should be higher because that's your toughness bonus plus your armor.
Okay.
If you don't have any armor on a location, you just use the toughness bonus. And penetration only goes through armor rather than. That's the reason they're separate. Yeah, so you take 9 damage from that, I believe.
Oof. Tora.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Tora.
initiative order is Tora, BGZ, and then this gentleman.
Okay. Well, Tora's good.
Orfamiel
Tora's
and
gonna.
Gunnar, you hear this gunshot echoing down the corridor.
What is it gonna do?
Gunnar stops and looks at you.
Eyes forward, Gunnar.
He nods and continues walking with you.
What do I see directly in front of me right now?
You see, as you're travelling onwards, so the route is continuing for quite some time. It does seem to be this hallway just continuing. It feels like you've been walking forever.
I'll mark the ground where I am then with something. Do you want me to replay exactly what it is, or can we just say I'll mark it with
You
something
whack
I
a
have on
purity seal
hand?
down.
I whack a purity seal down. I quick.
Roll
I
to
make
them.
it. I set up a little candle stall thingy.
Yeah.
I make a seal of purity,
Yeah.
and I'm going to turn around and I'll start rushing back.
Perfect. You start rushing back.
Gunnar, run!
It will take some time. Gunnar says, "I thought you said eyes forward." As he's running after you. Tora, what's happening? You've just been shot.
Tora, like kind of like rolls his shoulders and like clicks into place and goes, "Fuck yeah, cunt," and swings at him with the arc maul and Little Scythe Junior.
Okay, you're both lying on the floor. So,
are we? Oh, I would
yeah,
have.
as in he shoved you off of him, pulled his
Oh,
revolver
okay.
and fired at you. So if you want to swing at him, I'm going to say you need to stand up first. Or you can try and swing at him on the floor, but you're going to have a big penalty on it.
Can I just try to jab him with my arc maul like a taser?
Yeah, sure. Make a given the awkward positioning of you and seeing as you've just been shot, I'm going to give you a -20 on that.
Okie doke.
But yeah, you draw the arc maul, activate it, and go for a stab.
I'm going to use half of my action to aim.
Yeah, I'm going to say you had it drawn already, so you don't need to worry about that sort of thing.
It would be a standard attack, and the modifier is -20.
That is correct.
But plus my 5 for the custom grip, so I'm only -15.
Make that swing. Damn, give me that damage. It's with a 52 as well. I think that hits him in the center.
My sheet might.
Sorry, I'm flicking through your sheet. That's why I was.
That's why
I was looking up the rules for shocking. That's why.
Yeah, well, it's on that first page.
Perfect.
Oh, sorry, the first one.
So
13 damage. Shocking is can stun their opponents with a powerful surge of energy. A target that takes at least 1 point of damage from a shocking weapon after armor and toughness bonuses must make a toughness test, though they receive a +10 bonus for every armor point they have on the location they hit. If they fail, they're stunned for a number of rounds equal to half the damage they suffer.
I've not seen any damage pop up for your arc maul for me.
The second one, damage 13, type energy, penetration 4.
Okay, amazing. So it's a toughness test to resist that. Sorry.
It is. A target takes 1 point damage after must make a toughness test, but they receive a +10 bonus for every armor point they have on the location they hit.
Cool.
So it hit on a
the center
50.
Body.
Oh no, it hit on a 25.
25. So yeah, that's center body. Oh, sorry, no, that is his left arm. Perfect. So he's going to make a toughness test then. And this hasn't popped up for me. I don't know if Roll20 is just being a little bit slow.
What? My rolls haven't popped up?
Yeah, your rolls have. Well, it just says arc maul. It doesn't tell me the damage type or penetration.
Yeah, I'm seeing that as
Same.
well.
Okay.
I thought I was going nuts for a second.
I'm going to quickly refresh.
I'll refresh as well.
And see what happens.
Wait, maybe there's something wrong with the actual button then if none of us can see the numbers.
That is potentially true, but then if Og can see
I'm
the
also
numbers,
using
unless he's
Opera
lying,
rather than Chrome, and it tells me I've got an unsupported browser.
That could be it. Cool.
No, I see it on my end.
Okay, weird. I'm gonna re-roll that toughness test. It hasn't popped up for me. I don't know if it has for you guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
I haven't seen the toughness.
Cool.
Oh, that is.
He fails with 2 degrees of success. He is stunned for 2 rounds.
He's stunned for the damage. if they are stunned for a number of rounds equal to half the damage they suffered, so
Oh wow!
only
So
round
he is. I'm gonna
13.
he is knocked out. What does it look like as Tora desperately swings his Harkmall round?
Well, Tora just goes bah, and like gets him in underneath the armpit.
Yeah.
And goes bah and zaps the fuck out of him.
I think that the force of this, with this Admech made Arkmaul, launches him a good 3 feet away on the floor, and he rolls over.
It's like little cricket.
Yeah, he is not looking good. He is knocked unconscious. BGZ has run towards you, and he offers one arm to help you up. His other arm is holding the radium carbine, and he is basically pointing it down at him. He says something in binary again you do not understand.
Sorry, guys. We will keep this one alive to lead us back to the greater nest of the toilet squat.
Perfect.
Tora would also like to kind of patch up the gaping wound in his chest.
I give me a Medicae roll -20 because you're neither medically trained and also you're not carrying any medical supplies with you. It's very much just a desperate.
And also, we are in
a sewer.
You are also in a sewer. Well, this bit's more of like a geothermal, so it's actually there's no sewage here. I don't think you particularly patch yourself up well. You were bleeding.
My target is a -13.
That's because you're a fucking idiot with your intelligence. BGZ as well, I'm going to say, is unable to assist in this. He has no medical training for non-augmented humans. Or Famuel, I'm going to say.
No, my intelligence is 27. Thank you. It's just that I don't have any skill.
You have the penalty on it, so that's why.
Yeah.
Or Famuel, you are nearing. I'm going to say a little bit longer. You're able to move towards these guys. Tora, what would you like to do? You have an unconscious squat next to you.
Tora would like to hog tie the fuck out of this motherfucker, and also go through his pockets. Does he have any gum?
The revolver that he has now dropped is lying where he shot you. But yeah, he looking through his pockets, you find various tools you don't recognize. There isn't much there. His backpack does seem to contain various auspexes. It's nothing military make. It is seems to originally be some kind of AdMech manufacture, but it seems to be personally modified by him. He's also got a data slate which plugged in. It's plugged into this great machine which you do not recognize, except for when you read the data slate. It says VOS pattern geothermal heat transferer. It is a record of its service industry, and it is going back some 6,000 years. There are centuries-long gaps of when this thing was meant to be serviced every 50 years.
A normal person would assume this to be perhaps the maintenance people coming and checking on it, but in Tora's mind, this is simply the toilet squats launching their invasion by disabling the power generation and continuing from there. Tora would like to skewer the revolver.
Cool.
And for good measure, shoot him in the foot. Because he shot him.
Okay. I'm going to roll damage for that because I've already got the thing put up. I'm going to say he's prone, he's unconscious. You are wounded, but I'm going to say that you're able to shoot him just fine in the little footsie. It hurts him. You see his leg crack back at an unnatural angle. It seems to have penetrated straight through. Just this point,
reliably penetrated straight through.
It reliably penetrated straight through. At this point, Orfamiel and Gunnar, you come round the corner after just hearing this another gunshot, and your ears are ringing from the sound of it in these close confines.
I turn down my ears.
You turn down your ears. Gunnar has no such luck.
What does Gunnar look like he's doing right now?
He's covering his ears, but he is kind of shaking himself up, and he has his knife ready, and he walks into the room beside
Gunnar, straighten up. This is a bad situation, not a spa day. Come on.
He straightens up nervously.
Don't be so nervous.
He straightens up proudly.
Yes. I give him a small nod on my head, the approval
Perfect.
of his improvement.
Doesn't seem to help. Yeah,
Uh,
Samuel.
So I just kind of see Tora be shoot this unconscious guy in his foot.
I think you just heard the gunshot. He is still holding the smoking revolver.
Okay.
Tora is bleeding quite profusely from, I think, his upper right shoulder.
Your blood or his?
Both.
Gunnar,
I've
do you
been-
know any medical?
So, yes, I know some.
Well, go see the Tora then. Stop mumbling around.
He runs up to you, Tora. He asks you to sit down.
Tora does not sit.
Okay.
Tora keeps the revolver trained on the squat on the ground.
Beaches is also putting his carbine, and he is going to try and do a quick medico roll. See if he can help you. I'm afraid he is also unable to stymie the bleeding. He put some pressure on the wound, but with you not willing to cooperate, it does not seem to be helping too much. You were feeling a little bit lightheaded, Tora.
Jesus Christ, let me show you how it's done, and I'm going to give it a go.
Okay, give me a medico roll.
Can I get any bonuses at all?
No.
Can I please get a bonus?
I'm going to give you a +2 bonus because of how much you love your
I'll
friend.
take it.
There's
I'll
a way.
take
There's
it.
a way you could get a bonus.
Can I intimidate the wound?
No.
I'm just trying to see if you think
Get
of it
that
on
blood
your
back
own
in there.
without me saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, my first thing I'm thinking of is I cauterize the wound with my flamethrower.
It's a gunshot wound. It hasn't seemed to have gone through his shoulder. I think if it was an amputation, perhaps cauterization would be necessary. But you don't see a US Marine get shot in the balls and someone pulls out a blowtorch and goes, "Well, it's your time."
We can't save them.
It's all we have to
Trying
do.
to think
So.
what I might have with me that could help. Looking at my gear right now.
Does this toilet squat have any communication devices on him?
He does not appear to do so from your cursory examination of him.
I fake that and pass.
You pass. Orthamiel, with your faith in the God Emperor of Mankind, you are able to stop the bleeding and stabilize your dear degenerate friend Tora.
I sat gun on the back of the head.
He still needs. I think you basically put some fucking wedge some purity seals into the wound. That's sort of
What I do is I reach into my armored robes and I pull out a big bit of wax that is to be purity sealed. I roll it in my hands like a kid playing with Play-Doh. I spit in it once. I slap it on the wound. I say that wound ain't going nowhere.
This is why we need you, Amelia. Holy shit.
Tora, you're in a lot of pain. But the blood has stopped.
It had better have. You got a fucking wax dildo in your arm.
Should we cut to Surface Team? What's going on?
I wonder how they're doing.
It's like quick cut back.
Have you heard from them at all?
Hopefully, if there's any problems, they'd give us a call.
Not at all.
Yeah,
I mean, if
we
they
haven't
had
heard
any
from them for a
medical
while,
issues,
so
I could do it blindfolded.
yeah, no kidding. You've
Just
gotten
tell
us
them
into.
what to do, you know?
You probably could over the Vox there too.
My God,
Handy, wouldn't it?
that's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. That is for the funniest thing
Man
I've heard.
has like trained combat surgeon on hot dial and decides to just ram some wax in instead.
Oh God, my absolute favorite.
Yeah, I can't hear absolute without thinking abs salute. I
like that.
But I was gonna say, first off, you know, what is it? Corn? How do you say his name? I always freaking
Corn?
Corn is something way different,
Crone.
and you should
Crone.
thank your lucky
I don't know
stars.
why I want to put an M there. Okay, Crone. He knows that you guys are in the sewers and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, people have been informed and so on.
As
That
you told
need to-
Crone, yeah.
Right. I also want to mention, like, obviously, if, you know, for classes or anything like that, it's like, you know, we're taking Gunnar today for
Good.
special, or for I don't want to say training. What's the word I'm looking for?
Review.
Yeah, review.
Yeah.
So
Like
they
a
know that
test almost.
they know that he's gone, and they know that he's with
Good.
us.
They're not going to ask questions.
Exactly.
I think Kron passes on to the other tutors just fine.
Yeah.
Right, without saying anything about the sewers, of course.
Yes.
We were yeah. I mean, Lothar was kind of suggesting, what to do.
Lothar was.
He wanted to investigate this guy. How so? What are you looking for? We can talk to him, but he probably is not. He wouldn't reveal anything.
Well, no, of course not. I mean, he wouldn't reveal anything necessarily, but I don't know. The only thing I can think of is if we had him as well as the other teachers present there, we kept a close eye on him along with the students there, see what his reactions might be. He's probably not going to expect that we're going to turn anything towards him.
Follow classes.
Well, he's going to be putting his best foot forward in classes, right?
Right, but he also will be there. Like, you won't keep an eye on him.
True.
You can just follow the classes, follow the students.
The routines, things like that. Yeah, I guess that's true. I could do that. All right. I'll see if I can figure out how this guy works at least for the next couple of days. Well, the next day anyway here.
There's 4 teachers in total, right?
5 if we're not including Kroll here.
Yeah, so the tutors you've got Hagen, who is the drill amber, he's the ecclesiarchy teacher. Kron, who's the commissar, he teaches tactics discipline. Veld, who's the imperial guardsman. Marksmanship survival. Linvar de Corbe, who teaches organization, history, and imperial law. And then Almanes Advanced Lucille Baynard, who teaches medicine, faith, and mental purity. So that is 5 in total, but 4 if you're not counting Kron.
I'm not counting Kron. I'm just saying,
evening.
I'll stick around some other class, I suppose, and monitor things.
Yeah. Okay.
Who was the one that was would beat students and stuff though?
That was Hagen. I mean, they all kind of beat students.
That one was in particular though.
Krong was the one who was walking around with the iron rod, and if they got any of the psalms wrong, he would just whack them across the knuckles with it.
Well, he sounds like fun.
Yeah, I don't know which of the other 3 to if anyone. I don't know.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm not really too suspicious of the other ones here.
So
the only reason.
Sorry to interrupt. I remember I don't know if you forgot, but you did mention a plan involving a hallucinarium. I don't know if you guys.
That was for the students.
Is that for the students? Sorry.
Yeah. No, it was, but that's what I'm proposing now, I guess, with Lothar there is saying, what if we had the teachers there too to see if they have any kind of reactions to the situations that are being presented or things like that.
I mean, it'll only happen one time for them if they're going to watch everybody.
Well, one time is going to be, well, actually, no. If we have them go individually, we have them watch it over and over and over and over again. We can build fatigue with them too, right? I know I wouldn't be able to sit through that at least 3 times.
As representatives of the Inquisition, at least, you could ask these people to kill themselves in front of you, and they have to do it. Your authority on them is limitless.
The only issue is okay, if you're gonna have all the teachers, and then you want to do the students individually, because once they observe it one time, when it's their turn, they're not gonna act necessarily the same. Because then all the students, why wouldn't everyone gather and the students would be there and everybody?
I'm not really sure. I'm not following.
If you're gonna have the teachers watch,
right,
then the students would also be watching, and they wouldn't be going individually.
Well, no. I mean, yeah, they could still go individually for each of the students.
You could have
we
them
just
go
call
in
them in
separately.
And, that way, none of them already know the course. And if we have all the teachers there, it also accounts for them then not just, I don't know.
Okay, but then all the students would be out and about in the thing, not in any of these courses.
Well, not if we had them take a written exam or something afterward.
It doesn't matter afterward. We need before.
I mean,
Trust me, if they
you've already technically pulled Gunner out of a lesson. If you were
Yeah.
if you were to pull other people out over the next few days, I don't think anyone would be.
But
questioning
Critter
it.
wants them to be watched the whole time.
at least through the course of the
The hallucinarium course.
the
from October
hallucinarium.
with the lab.
That's what I want them to focus on.
Yeah. If you
So
wanted to do basically a combat course or like
Essentially.
simulated firefight, but then at
And
the
then
end of it,
ending
have
with
them go into a room which is identical to Dangir's room and find him there sat at the desk.
exactly, and then what do you do in this situation, kind of a thing. So that's my idea, and then having the teachers there would also like help them. Help us to see kind of what their potential reactions would be to this here too. They're not the only person who knows about this is going to be Kroln. So potentially, depending on the situation that we pose to them, we can see some natural reactions and then pick out the abnormal ones too.
It's an interesting theory, and whilst we ruminate on that, let's move back down to the sewer boys. What's happening?
So Cora's been patched up by the grace of the Emperor and Ephemeral's warm, strong hands. The toilet
Just
squad
one hand.
has been hogtied and shot in the leg.
Yeah, well, shot in the foot, you said.
Yeah, shot in the foot while he convulses violently. What? Is there any evidence of squat nests like
Do we recognize this squat? First of all, do we recognize him?
You do not. And Tora, give me an awareness roll plus 40, please, to spot squat nesting. I should have a roll for you, which is fake squat facts. And if you fail it, you actually get it right.
I like that.
Tora, mercifully, there does not appear to be any evidence of squat mating, nesting, and also no evidence of demons. Thanks for rolling that, Ophamia.
Just in case.
Just in case. You never know. That's the thing about demons. You just never know.
How does Ophamia react to seeing this man attacked or squat attacked?
He's indifferent.
Fair enough.
Did it shoot me first?
Similarly indifferent. Yeah, what's the plan down here in the heat?
Well, first of all, what he did to Tori says, did you attack him or did he attack you?
I definitely attacked him first.
Yeah. Okay.
Beaches, nods his head.
He resisted my line of questioning.
What was the line of questioning?
I said shh, and then he went, "What the fuck?" And then
the idiot, the fool.
I tried to threaten him some more, and then he shot me.
Is he? Do I assume he's alive, or do you like tying up dead things?
Well,
he stopped convulsing. He's still alive.
Is he back to swearing?
No, he is still unconscious.
Okay.
Do I have any holy water on me?
Of course.
Of course I do. That was a trick question for you, DM. Just going to see how it goes on.
Would you be able to exercise?
I put some holy water
do some
on
fitness. Fitting these balls in your mouth, Ophamia.
How much does this dwarf or squat weigh?
I would say he probably weighs, given the height of him, a good 120 kilos. What's that in pounds for you, non-communists?
Can strength 45 lift 120 kilo?
That's about 260 pounds. I'm going to say you can lift him.
I'm going to lift him by his ankles until he's upside down, and as he's upside down, I'm going to pour some holy water down his nose and mouth.
Okay, it's not actually the holy water that wakes him; it's that you gripping his foot after it's been shot sends a burst of pain surging through his body, and he screams and awakes to find you lifting him upside down, your muscles straining.
What's your name?
He screams.
That's a weird name.
I'm Karadin Gormson of Gormson Discrete Plumbing Solutions. He says, and he is coughing and panicking, and he as you're holding him upside down, you see a small business card which has fallen out of one of his boiler suit pockets, which is at the floor.
Got a business card now.
Did you say? Sorry, what was that?
Gunner, business card now.
Gunner grabs it, still pointing his knife, and hands it to you. It's a very tastefully made business card. It does say Gormson Discreet Plumbing Solutions. It has, his contact details on it. Has some runic lettering you don't yourself recognize, but this is a good business card. It's laminated. It's good.
I'm against
There's
some
a
American Psycho
laminated
vibes here.
business card. I mean, it's
Yeah, actually, that is
laminate.
weird. He does laminate business
No.
cards.
If he's the toilet squat that he is, you absolutely want them laminated so you don't get shit all over him.
Valid points. He's a practical man.
Mm-hmm.
The DM has thought about this.
I'm gonna get onto the Voxcaster or whatever it's called. I can't remember the name of these things. I'm gonna say, this is Apache 24-6 and Apache 26-4 coming in to loser 1 and loser 1-1-1.
Amelia, they're fucking around with the Vox again.
Do you say that on the Vox?
Yes, I do.
Hi, Amy. I killed the toilet squad, I think.
Can you guys do a background check on?
I'm sorry, what?
What's the name? Grom Gunnison?
He yells at you that he is Caradin Gormson.
Caradin Gormson. Can you do a background check on a Caradin Gormson of plumbers extraordinaire?
I'm like out of character. I'm talking here, but like we can't just. There's no internet.
There is no central database. No.
So you
can't Google it.
Well, who
do we do a planetary
who hired
Google?
him then?
Who did we talk to who said they sent the plumbers down into the...
Yeah, we can speak to Crone. I mean,
Just give that. They'll take that.
Are you telling me you've attacked the plumbers?
No, I'm trying to find out if a plumber's been attacked.
I have been attacked by a toilet squat and have disabled the assailant.
What plumber carries a gun on them? That's what I want to know. I don't know if this is a plumber or not. So can you find out whether or not this name matches the name that man was hired by Grom?
As you listen on the Vox, Amelia, you hear a voice you do not recognize screaming, "Help me! Help me!"
Yeah, I'm helping you. We're trying to make this as easy as possible, so stop complaining.
And BGZ has said, "Hello, Amelia. The abhuman has been shot twice. He is alive."
Thanks, BGZ.
Well, I guess
his helmet, he smiles.
I'll just call up.
Does he still have lips under there?
I'll put them on hold. They get some, music to listen to while they wait.
Just all prayer. Oh, so it's all binary.
It's a dial-up noises as you're connecting.
Call Kroll, I guess.
Hello.
This is Amelia. We have a question about the people you hired.
Yes.
You have
Was
their
it Deep Rock
records.
Galactic?
You have their names.
I could pull them up for you. I didn't hire them directly. Just give me one moment. You hear him say something to what you assume to be an assistant nearby, and then you hear heavy footsteps suddenly coming back into the room. He seems to be reading off a business card. He says, "Yes, it's a. So we've used them before. It's Gormson Discreet Plumbing Solutions. They came quite recommended. They usually deal with things like Scoloprogeniums, Arbite's precinct fortresses. I think they boast that they've worked with rogue traders as well. They're very well regarded in the world of the High Imperium."
Right. So,
you understand discretion here is tantamount. Why do you ask?
Oh, one of them may have been found.
Well, that's good. I would assume so, seeing as.
As you said, they hadn't responded either.
Well,
so
they could spend some time working, I suppose.
Yeah. I'll inform you if we find out more. We're just double checking the records.
Glad to hear they're okay.
Yep. Hang up.
At this point, Tor is cutting trophies. He's sawing a finger off to put around it. If you take crushed toilet squat knucklebone, your uncle doesn't have to sleep in the same bed with you that night. All the classic stories.
As I say, Tora.
Yeah.
as the music as Tora. Gonna have to
What
ask
is
you
what
to
is
do
your whole
some.
music?
What?
Is it do 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 do
It's just
No, it's the
dialogue.
Wii music.
Oh no. Never forget. That's
Yeah.
it. You nailed it.
That's
You're gonna have to be really careful because that was too close. We're gonna get DMCA'd.
It's a bake to bake a pretty
we
cake.
just had to
You
make a
know the
drop. There's be a
way is
remix in there.
hazy. You got to do the
Yeah.
cooking by the book.
Anyway,
You
Isaiah
know
Tora,
you can't
I'm
be
gonna have to
lazy.
ask you to do something that you probably never thought you'd have to do.
Oh my god, am I gonna have? Oh, look for you, Amy. I'll do it, and I'll even film it. And so Taurus starts taking his pants
You
off.
need to let the squat go.
No, unacceptable.
the squat has stopped yelling now. He is just quietly focusing on his breathing. Blood is running down from his
He
foot.
is a plumber. He was hired by.
He's been hired by the toilet squat to infiltrate the
He may even
Scolopogenium.
be useful to help show you around the sewers if you don't kill him.
I will
I
just
don't-
work on toilets, he says.
So Mila, just to confirm, this is a plumber that just so
Ormson.
happens to be a small
Yes.
person. Okay, I
He
dropped him.
happens to be a squat.
He
I
I don't
rolls
know
on
if
his
he's
head
small.
with a yell. He kind of pulls himself up against a wall. He's dragging himself along. He can't really walk. Tori, you've taken his revolver, haven't you? And he
Mhm.
I
kind
do not
of-
heal him.
He kind of sits there clutching his foot.
Why'd you have a gun if you're a plumber?
I work in quite dangerous environments.
I look around. What's the dangerous bit?
He points at Tora.
Outside of. Yep. I was like, yep, very
Hey.
valid. I walked into that. Yep, that's on me. That
I-
one. That's completely
I
okay.
just wanted to have a conversation, and then you shot me.
You pulled a knife on me, he says.
Yes, because the only good toilet squat is potentially a
We're
dead
still
toilet
hearing
squat.
this, right?
Yeah, I was
No
gonna
one's
say,
hung up.
Amelia, can we hang this up?
I
Oh,
went.
we gotta go down there.
I just gonna say, like, Tora, ask, like, we're investigating the sewers. He will be find out what he knows. Don't kill or torture him. He
I
has
can
been
do
hired.
both those. I can do all three of these things.
He's been hired to do this job. He probably knows more than. If there is a problem down here, he would know.
All right,
Mr.
Mr. Toilet.
Plumber, do you know if there's a problem down here?
He looks at you, spits, and says, I'm not fucking helping you.
Okay, then you can deal with Tora. And I turn away. Gonna follow.
And
Gunnar follows immediately.
Yeah, me and Gunnar are gonna go keep following the route we were going down earlier.
Perfect.
After we find our spot.
now,
I feel like this is a time when the fucking rosette would be useful.
who's got the rosette?
Not you.
I don't-
Lothar.
I think yeah,
I've
you
got
guys
it.
do.
Now, Mr. Toilet Squat, if that's even your real name. Well, two ways this is going to go. One way, I'm going to drag you out of the tunnel and we'll get you some medical attention from my good friend. Taurus stops. Hey,
He lets out a string of binary.
yeah, that's the one. Or secondly, you're going to die down here and it's not going to be a very nice time. Or, thirdly, you can lead me to your secret pot of gold and the empire of toilet squats that exists underneath all toilets everywhere.
Make a. I'm not sure if this is intimidate or charm. It's kind of neither.
Can we make a new thing called Chum-timidate for this?
Yeah, I think this is a chimtimidate, so
It's
you can use charm or
Chimtimidate.
intimidate.
Chim
Chim-chim-chiroo.
Chiroo. You
Chim
son of a
chim.
bitch.
Like Dimsdale.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't dig down.
Fuck them, no more with the Dimsdale.
No bonuses.
Oh my fucking
No
god.
bonuses in this one. That is a failure.
I used my last fate to pass.
Perfect. He nods, his beard waggling. You see sweat bristling across his bushy brow. Says, "Right, I'll help. What do you want to know?"
We want to know any problems, Tora.
I tap the mic a bit. Tora would like to know any problems happening in the sewers that aren't being caused by Tora.
I actually finished that one for you. That was actually kind of nice of him.
So he explains to you through gritted teeth that there was a blockage briefly with the sewage system. He solved it by sort of flushing the system. He's not really sure what the blockage was, but he managed to trace it to a series of pipes coming from the kitchen. Essentially, he explains that it's not just sewage; it's general waste is also pumped down here. He mentioned something offhandedly about perhaps they were dealing with food they weren't expecting, and yeah. But he says that now he's working on the basically a geothermal heating thing, and he's just running general services, but it's not operating as efficiently as it should be, and he's not really sure why. That's why it's taking some time.
Is it because your people sabotaged it?
What do you mean, my people?
I mean, you and your creepy toilet squats with your long creepy fingers sneaking into your bedroom as a child at night.
Tora, repeat after me. I'll look over Amelia.
Tora's like getting more and more worked up. He's just like he's like juggling with his knives.
Tora, after me. What kinds of things were they not expecting in the kitchen?
What kind of dumb question is that? Why would a man on the other side of the pipes know what the kitchen was not expecting?
Almost as if it might come through the pipes or something.
You see, is the pipe see-through? You see what the kitchen pipe had unexpected?
The man had to flush it.
Was there a sewer grate or something that would catch a larger piece of waste, such as maybe if someone had tried to flush a gun down the kitchen?
He explains that the sewage pipe ends. He's sort of explained the direction he gives you is basically the long hallway that Famuel's currently heading down. He says that it upends into the sea. He wasn't sure what was sort of dealt with. He basically just flushed the system and relaunched everything, and it just came out as a slurry. And by the time he got to the end, it was all cleared, so he never saw what was there. But it wasn't anything big enough to not go through the grate.
I've just realised how retarded it is having the guy that automatically fails awareness tests doing the scouting and looking for things that we're trying to investigate.
You've got Gunner with you, you'd be fine. Speaking of which, let's so this route continues for another maybe 20-30 minutes. The smell hits you first. Pipe has been joined by numerous others from above.
Does it though?
Yeah.
Does the smell hit me?
Well, it hits Gunner first. He goes,
yeah.
That smell, can you smell that, Orfamiel?
I only smell my lips. I don't have any lips.
So the pipe has been joined by numerous others from above. Judging from your approximate location, they are likely from the barracks. The pipe empties out into a small central channel which dumps the sewage out into the crashing sea below. You reckon you must be some 20 feet above sea level, but the cold air hits you all the same.
Can we see Penis Point?
You can't see Penis Point. To use the map as an example, you're currently maybe here.
Okay, that's lower than I thought.
So you can't really see it. It feels like it was going straight, but it clearly wasn't. So yeah, the channel before reaching the sea passes through a small metallic grate. In the centre of this, still being buffeted by the slurry, is a small suppressed las pistol.
Gunnar, do you have any Polly Pockets on you?
No, I can just pick it up if you want.
Don't you dare touch that with your dirty finger hands. This is where science comes to play. How can you be an Inquisition if you just go and touch everything all willy-nilly and not care about science? Now, I need you to run back and get me a Polly Pocket, preferably 2. And also, wait a minute. Hello, this is Orfamiel to Amelia and Lothar. This is Orfamiel to Amelia and Lothar.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the background, Lothar's talking Tora off the cliff.
Pretty much.
You guys are basically in a call centre in this poor little office that you've got.
Hello, handsome.
So I found what
in
I
all
believe
honesty,
to be
it's exactly
gun.
what Amelia wants to do.
Yeah.
I found the gun. What do I do with it?
What,
you found the gun?
A gun or the gun?
I found a
You can't see a
las-
serial number on it from its current position.
What was it called? Is it a las pistol or not?
Yes.
I can't
Las
remember.
pistol,
Yeah.
yes.
I
You
found a
found a
las
las-
pistol in a grate
A
on a
silenced
sewer.
las pistol.
It is a silence suppressed.
Gunner, is that silenced?
Yes, that's the
Yep, it's silenced.
sort of ones we use in training.
Apparently, it's the same one they use in training.
Oh,
Okay, so
great.
how did it end up there?
Gunner, how do you think it ended up here?
Well, it probably came through the pipes, didn't it?
Of course, good job, Gunner. Of course, duh.
I guess what I'm more so asking, was this the end result of the kitchen pipes, or was this
No, this is like the end of like everything. So this is where stuff's all going mixed
so
together.
something got flushed, but the kitchen pipes specifically had a problem, so therefore
So you remember
likely
the kitchen had an issue. Well, sorry, the pipes initially were blocked on like your first night, if you remember.
yeah, but you mentioned specifically there was a blockage in the kitchen, and so it's likely it was
Good pause.
Yeah.
Got it.
Sure.
I mean, obviously we're gonna tell them to pick it up.
Yeah, definitely
pick
pick it up there. I mean,
What did the ska drum player? What did it say to the drummer when he dropped his drumsticks?
pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still funny.
It was good. I wasn't expecting that
The two things
ending.
I was just gonna say. Well, then, like, I figure investigate the kitchen, and what we're gonna the hallucinatorium thing we want to set up. Like, fine, whatever. You want to bring everybody there. My only issue with that is people are gonna then see what's happening to other people before they go in.
Well, I mean, if we hand out pamphlets and tell them, hey, this is the murder scene, then yeah. But we're not going to tell them that.
After
only
the
people who will
first
know-
person goes, everybody will know those secrets revealed.
Well, that's why we keep them in a separate room after the fact, right?
User in your channel
You understand
timed out.
after the fact doesn't fix the problem.
Shit, there goes Ralph. Maybe that's his food.
No,
They need to be
that might be.
separated before the fact, not after.
That's perfectly doable.
Right.
But once the teachers see the first student do it, that's it, right? And further watching isn't gonna do anything
Oh,
for
that
them.
part. Okay, that's fair, yes. As far as the teachers, we can have them, I don't know, sit in on one of them randomly or something like that.
Yeah.
So we could do that, something like that. Have them come in on their break because that feels right.
So I'm just gonna say, why don't you set that up? I'll manage the
User
calls from
entered your
these
channel.
guys, and I'll investigate the kitchen in the meantime.
All right,
Welcome
I'm
back.
back. I think I
Got
lost
it.
internet because like my phone. Obviously, I'm on my phone's data, so when I walked outside, disconnected.
I see. These guys were basically just chatting about the hallucinarium plan. Yeah. So the shitty las pistol is in front of you.
Okay.
Literally.
So, do I pick up the gun or do I leave it? I mean, sorry, no, that's not what I would say. Do I pick up the gun or do I like wait till they get a Polly Pocket?
What is a Polly Pocket? What are you talking about?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Oh,
It's when
plastic
you
bag.
get it's when you get one of those like children's dolls. I'd see
Okay.
Imperial Guardsmen do it all the time.
I click
And you
off
get-
my computer.
We could just turn off Toro specifically.
yeah.
Like all good times in the TeamSpeak, just gently turn down Taurus slider.
I mean, whatever. Lothar clicks out, but Amelia just adjusts volumes and stuff because she's multitasking anyway. That's what she normally is doing. So Taurus is going in the background. It's like at this point, any fingerprints and stuff are likely messed with, and if I find your fingerprints on it, I'm going to know why they're there.
Because you're
Clever.
the murderer.
I pick up the gun, but like I stare at Gunner as I'm doing it. I'm like, what do you think I'm staring at you for, Gunner?
He looks away.
Gunner, look at me in the eyes.
He looks back.
Look at me in the eyes, Gunner. And I get right close to him. As I'm saying this, I move my face closer and closer, and like my hand stinks of shit. Horrible. Like, I picked up the gun, because I can't smell it, so I picked it up all up. I don't care. I don't care if it stinks of shit. I'm getting closer to him. My stink shitty hand. Gunner, why do you think I'm looking at you in the eyes like this, Gunner?
Because the Inquisition goes to the highest and
Because
the
I'm
lowest
waiting for
of
your
places.
opinion, Gunner.
Oh,
What's your opinion, Gunner?
Now tell him something nice.
Gunner, what's your opinion of the matter?
I think we should check the serial number.
Yeah, good job. Here, you guys hear this? Gunner's learning. Gunner, what
I'm
does the
just-
serial number say?
He looks at the serial number and reads it aloud to you. JG44.
I repeat it.
I remember we
Yeah,
had
Mike.
this previously,
it?
but I don't. Yeah,
Yep,
you have
I
it
can
written
confirm
down
it.
because I
I
didn't
do.
put in my notes.
that is Dangier's last pistol.
Wait, no, I did write it down. There it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that
Is
is.
it,
I mean,
is it a
bring.
match?
It is a match. Bring it regardless. Like you said, we can check it for any additional information. That is the smoking gun.
Excellent. I'll get back
A
again.
shitting gun.
It's a shitting gun.
Gunner, good job. But clean yourself up. You smell like shit. And I start walking away.
Yes, my lord, he says, and follows you. What's happening with Tora, BGC, and the toilet squat?
Taurus just like squatting in front of him, like smoking a cigarette as he's bleeding out.
The smoke's coming
Very
out of the purity seal hole. Like,
All right, go. All right, Mister Toilet Squatting Son, or whatever your name may be. You can be honest with me. These might be your last moments if you. Oh no, he is helping us, isn't he?
yeah.
Ah, Tora.
Kill him.
Yeah, Tora. It's look. Do you have any messages you want me to send back to your Warren? Of
To your Warren.
I'd rather just get out of this sewer if that's all right.
yes, and you will get out of this sewer, my friend. The Emperor protects, and Tora just shoots him in the face.
Cool.
Really?
And have you no toilet squats here?
The shot rings out across the sewers, and Carradine slumps down dead.
Right here?
Yeah.
I go into
Tora
the
would
box
like to
What's that?
lift
What
him,
happened?
carry him to carry him to the. Oh, I guess the end of the sewers is quite a distance away, isn't it?
It is.
But like, oh, I'm on the Vox caster. Tora, what happened? Are you okay? Is he dead? Are you dead? Is BGC dead?
Same old story, or Famuel. Toilet squats killing toilet squats. And he does like a slab squat, smokes his dart, puts it out, and like drags the body further into the tunnel.
Oh, Family hangs up and his turns to Gunner. So Tora killed the guy.
Gunnar nods his head slowly and says, "That's not what your friend on the Fox said, was it?"
Nope. Nope.
Right.
But
Right.
we move on.
Tora,
Come on, you still
I
sound
assume they make their way back and they meet back at like that junction point.
Yeah. I take it you're carrying this body.
Yeah, carrying the
Dragging
body.
this body. You
Emotionally.
I think BGZ's mostly carrying the body. You've just kind of got a hand on it.
I'm supervising.
Yeah. So yeah, you four meet up. 5 if you count. Carradine. Meet up on this junction.
4.5 men.
What a shit sitcom.
So one of you is a legal like adolescent. One of you is also of an undetermined gender due to their cybernetic augmentations. Like it's like 2 men plus 3 unknowns.
And if only
Sure
he'd
about
rolled.
Tora yet, to be fair.
If only he'd rolled a 9 or more. He rolled an 11. If it was 2 less or 9 more, he would have lived.
What a shame.
What a
What
shame.
the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm
I
so lost here.
rolled a 1d100, and I decided that if
Oh, I didn't see
it started with an even
I was thinking
number,
I was-
he was going to live, and if he started with an odd number, he was going to die. So I was like
Just
flipping a
roll
coin.
2-sided dice.
Yeah, but then we'd forget what it was about, and then we'd fall asleep.
There we go. So yeah, you four meet up. What would you like to do?
Did you just shit
Uh,
yourself? How did you
just-
fucking...
What?
How
I'm
did you gloss
stretching.
over that just now?
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
just-
know what that noise
I'm
was.
stretching. I'm getting up. I went.
Your asshole? Oh my god, it scared the shit out of me. And you too, apparently. What the...
For God's sake.
Oh god, I'm sorry. Let's continue.
Glad that's in the recording.
Oh, me the fuck too. Holy shit, that was amazing.
Much like Wrath, I have food to go grab real quick.
That's okay.
Gotcha.
I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to take my laptop with me because I'm not a fucking poser.
Perhaps then
Oh.
we should take a 5 minute.
Let's take a 5-minute
Yep.
Sure.
/ whatever break. Right.
Oh,
There we go. Well, that's
Did
interesting.
you make any noise when you clapped
Yeah.
there? I saw you clap, but I didn't hear you clap.
Hang on.
I heard it.
There we go.
Alright.
mhm.
Like, if I clap now, though, doesn't that then muck up your style?
That's
No,
fine,
no.
because once they start clapping, I'll be able to tell where it pops up in Audacity. I might
Okay,
just
so
keep
like,
this
so
in,
if I
'cause it could
start
be funny.
clapping like 10 minutes into us playing again, or like 5 seconds into us like playing again, that would
That'd be a
muck up.
really funny edit, though,
I'll tell
actually.
you what, the most annoying thing for you to do be after the session's finished, just give me a lovely round of applause, because then I will just cut out from now until the end of the session, and it'll be really confusing for all our hundreds of listeners.
I think the most annoying thing you can do is take an NPC that Warwick has clearly made a voice for and done some work for and just kill him.
Hey, I know what you cunts are like, and every NPC that is made is with the expectation that it will be killed, and if it survives more than one encounter with any of you cunts, I count that as an Emperor's blessing.
There's an increased chance of us adopting said NPC in some way, shape, or
You
form.
either kill them on sight almost, or somehow get them back on board the Ipcress. Like, if it was up to you fuckers, you would have quintessential.
We would
Oh,
have
yeah,
quintessential,
definitely.
wouldn't we?
We would have had that kid as our communications
You'd
officer.
have had that kid.
Oh yeah.
So we,
You would have had Yurts, the antiques dealer from Al-Jadar, back on your ship.
I still want him.
Yep.
I still want you, by the way.
Yeah, he's probably dead, actually. I'm
probably
pretty
dead.
sure.
Um,
I'm pretty sure that was Avula's doing, actually.
Yeah.
Nah, I want you.
just came into his shop and was like, "Where are these men?" And he goes, hello, welcome to the Yurts Emporium," and just immediately gets shot through the fucking jaw.
What is the opportunity in the future to get Yurt made into a loud healer?
You'd need to find his body and his soul.
Okay. I'm currently one loud healer, and as discussed with you, Warwick, I have plans for my loud healers.
Raf's got this awful image of because technically there's no limit on the amount of servo skulls you can have, and so he suggested that Orfamio has a near limitless hive of loud hailer servo skulls.
I like to imagine. It's like
God.
it's like
Because
one
they
of those.
float, they don't take up weight, so you can you can just keep having more and more of them, and
he
if they
just
surround you like a
buzz
swarm,
around him,
you're
screaming.
just basically immune, and like,
Yeah.
you can
I like-
do like the whole, like you can become like a noise marine, and like, you can just deafen and completely incapacitate any foes.
I like the idea that it's like a classical interpretation of like angels coming. It's like a Neil. If you've read Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett's Good Omens, like the sound, the horns of the angels' host approaching down is this like that immeasurable sound that has always existed and will always exist. And I just imagine it as like a swarm of vuvuzelas. And that's what I imagine. You can hear Orfamio coming, and it's just like.
Oh my god, I'd kill for that shit.
That's terrifying.
I think of them as like hummingbirds, though, right? So like eventually they have to try and up their stores of promethium that they're using to keep floating and shit. So like they have to take little sups and stuff like that from his flamer every so often, like birds to a flower, if you will.
Like hummingbirds, but
Exactly.
they're just child skulls.
It's just
I put it onto like my wrist and stuff with my hands, so it'd be like a falconer, and like I hold out my arms like them to land on, and they'll land on temporarily.
I'm getting
Get,
into
like, a little
Tora's character.
recharge,
Kill the
and then
man,
just
gonna have a
travel
cigarette.
away.
oh my god.
Currently, packet of 25s. This is $59. So I am.
Wow.
You get them in packs of 25.
Yeah.
That's weird. Packs of 20 over here.
Well, I can do 20, 25s, 30s, 40s in this brand in particular.
I think
Some
they're
brands selling
selling them
31s.
here. It used to be you could get 10s and 20s, but now it's
Yeah,
just 20s.
Can't do small. Yeah, can't do small packet sizes in the UK. You also can't smoke menthols, can you?
No, you can smoke menthol still. But
I thought they were.
you can smoke menthol. You can buy menthol filters if you roll your own, but you can't smoke pre-made
Yeah,
menthals
you
anymore.
can't get Taylors with
Yeah.
crushes.
Oh. I've
And
not
also
smoked
you
for many
see
years,
Philip
though, at this point
Morris.
now.
Philip Morris announced yesterday that they're going to phase out selling cigarettes in the UK in 10 years.
No shit.
They've always been saying that. It's never going to happen. There's too many people that like smoke.
No, this isn't the government saying we're going to phase out smoking. This is Philip Morris, the brand, saying they're going to stop selling tobacco product. Yeah, that's why I'm saying it as it's newsworthy, but which just screams to me that the e-cigarette market is now just like so wide for them because that's what they've invested a lot of their money in.
I'm really worried about e-cigarettes. I don't like the idea of just putting these flavored chemicals into your body. Really freaks me out.
Oh well, I make
back.
my.
I mean, that's what a cigarette is.
I was gonna say that's like also
Yeah, but
that.
at least like tobacco comes from like a plant, or even if like filters have some chemicals and all that.
No.
I mean, everything comes from the earth.
Tobacco is treated 10,000 ways. That's why do you not remember all the stuff about like? So this is the same stuff in rat poison that gets
it's all
put
tar
in.
and all that.
Right,
and bleach and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's the idea that human bodies aren't designed to inhale smoke at the best of days. It's why having a fireplace in your home. If you have a fireplace in your home, between a certain age group, it's so weird. If you have it while you're like an infant or like younger, you're more likely to develop asthma. But if you have it when you are like 6 or up in like childhood development, you're less likely to get asthma. But it's just, like in Canberra, at least, there's a conversation about how they want to ban new. It looks like it's going to pass. They're going to ban new houses from
having those
being able to build with fireplaces.
Well, shall we continue?
Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely. Thank you. So we've got one murdered squat currently at this junction. We've got Amelia and Lothar.
Or it just has Tora just has images like he's when he pulled the trigger, he just saw his uncle's face when he pulled the trigger and blew him away.
It was like Inigo Montoya. It was a beautiful moment. God. That would be really touching if it weren't absolute nonsense. Right. So yeah, what is
that Tora? That's the origin of the toilet squats.
Yeah, and now you've killed one.
Now I've killed one.
The deepest lore.
We've come full circle. Do I go down in insanity points?
You've cured yourself, yeah.
I cured myself.
No, but if you go down insanity points, you realise what actually happened.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe you go. I'm still on that knife edge, aren't I?
Yeah.
This is going dark places.
Tora's going to face. Was it the Slough had an ability that caused him? Yeah, the Slough had an ability that caused insanity points. So we're going to be in combat, like fighting a flayed one or something like that. No, a flayed one did give me an insanity point already. That's why I'm on a knife edge.
Mm-hmm.
So we're mid combat. Is there an insanity table?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's basically your shock table, and then that can cause certain things like permanent insanity points. But insanity points, there's no like roll d6 and see what form of trauma you suffer. It's mostly up to my discretion. It has some suggestions of like compulsions or phobias. But it's kind of designed that it's not just, oh, look, you took a grievous wound from a demon and now you're scared of paper clips. You know, it links up. But yeah, so yeah, what's going on down in the sewers?
Well, we found the gun. I think we make our way back.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm just going to nod my head at Tora, say this is what I expected to see. I just walk past him and go upstairs.
This is an interesting question actually, because squats are technically sanctioned abhumans, so they're obviously deviations from the holy human form, but they are permitted to exist within the Imperium. What is Orphamu's opinion?
Just as long as they don't appear in any current Guild Wars Games Workshop work.
Exactly. Well, they're in Necromunda.
Yeah, they're running around.
2 squats. No, those are ratlings, you fucking idiot, and that's in.
They're close enough.
That's very incorrect. They're based on
ratlings
halflings,
are different.
not dwarves, and
ratlings are the hobbit
fortress.
That's right.
But in Necromunda there are 2 squats, so yeah, they're canon still, baby. Anyway, so you're taking this body back up, and yeah, Lothar and Amelia, what is happening?
I think
Lothar was supposed to be setting up the hallucinatorium stuff while I was going to the kitchen.
Yep.
So I think you meet with, let's say, Kron. He's still in his office. You go to the main scholar building. As you walk into his office, he says, "Oh, I was just on the phone to you. Please take a seat."
Oh, right. And Lothar puts his arm back down before trying to instinctively salute, and he sits down. Excellent. You were about to call. what's going on?
No. I meant I just got off the phone to Amelia, so I expected you.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the dog playing with the frisbee coming through the mic?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
Nope.
I don't believe so. And I'm good. I don't need any coffee or anything like that. Sorry, I didn't realize you had somebody walking in, but no.
Prawn takes a pot of recaf.
Right, recap. Duh.
Obviously, don't break the canon. It's the evening as
God.
well.
I've even got the handbook now. I should have no excuse.
Is it uncaffed? Is it uncaffed recaf?
It's recaf
It's just
or
called
decaf.
dirt water. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
it's uncaffed. So it's uncaffed.
Uncapped.
Yeah.
Man, you remember in the days of just calf?
Yeah.
Man, good
The
times.
Liberals got hold of it.
In
Absolutely, they
the
recapped it.
times.
Yeah, the precedented times, the before
Oh.
times, before the war. But yeah, no, sorry. Just in my head now, I'm thinking, oh man, around the Horus Heresy era, there is when there was just calf, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Anyway,
And then Kath.
just calf.
Wait, does that mean canonically that recaf originally comes from Kath?
Yes, absolutely, it comes from calf.
Come on,
Is that not what that means?
No.
Or have I misinterpreted this whole time? I thought it was just like they had to recycle coffee beans or some
I
shit.
believe it's more that it it's just a term of it refreshes it recaffeinates you is how I've always interpreted it.
I'm an idiot. I genuinely thought it was like, oh yeah, they get fresh pots of recaf because like they can't get any they can't get any new coffee bean
So it's
shit up into the
recycled
field.
coffee.
Yeah, ever since
Recycled
ever
coffee.
since Kath fell, that was the only place you could get coffee beans.
Yeah, Kafifi, right?
That famous battle at the start of the Horus Heresy between the word bearers and the Ultramarines.
If I can't have this world, you shan't have coffee.
Vengeance for calf.
That was all part of Zeech's just as planned, taking away the caffeine.
All according
Anyway,
to Keikaku.
so you sit down in front of Commissar Krone.
Right. I forgot I was here. That's right. That was supposed to give me time to think of what I was going to say. Sorry, the cat just jumped into a box here and then got stuck because I think he knocked himself out. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Rip.
Yep, dead cat. That's a shame. No, I was going to ask. So the hallucinariums there. We're hoping to make use of them to help to better ascertain some of the students' strengths and their challenges, let's say. But I don't really know how they work.
Right.
We just use live fire over my way, and we would prefer to have these folks alive if we can help it.
I see. Well, the hallucinarium, it's essentially, well, it depends. Would you like to do a large group exercise or individual exercises?
We're hoping to do individual exercises, having the students go through the same scenario, so to speak, and see how they react to it.
So it works through a combination of simulated weaponry. So we're essentially using just heavily modified las weapons, that sort of thing. So there's no actual damaging potential, and each student will be within this hallucinarium, within this dome. Their heads gets kind of wired into this device that feeds hallucinatory drugs. Also, analytics get streamed back out, and they are within this dome. They are 100% in the belief whilst they're in there that they are within this area. Obviously, once they leave the simulation, they understand that it's actually just a simulation. But when they're there, it feels real. If they get their arm shot off, it feels real. What did you have in mind?
Well, and so I guess at this point, they're going to kind of go into I'm hoping to have them go through, this kind of like a simulation of trying to act as Imperial agents while there's, let's say, like an active chaos incursion to try and head off the alleged leader, right? So kind of going into it with them, with the end goal of having, potentially one of their fellow students be the cult leader, not literally, but an image of them, so to speak, and to see if they have what it takes.
I think that's a very very interesting idea. I think that is worth following. I could have that set up for, say, should we say tomorrow morning?
I think that'd be excellent.
Perfect.
We're hoping to also make sure too that the students afterward have a period of time kind of afterwards to cool off, to take a moment, the idea of it being intense, but then also to see if they can still function afterwards. I don't know if there's some kind of a written component. I don't know if you guys do written tests or things like that here.
Yes, we do.
Excellent. Is there a
He
way?
chuckles slightly to himself because you wouldn't know that as a humble guardsman.
I sure as hell wouldn't, as a country bumpkin that I am.
Someone didn't go to the scholar, clearly.
Absolutely not. To be in fact, I'd like to invite some of the teachers to take watch here as well, to see if it's something that they could include in their curricula if they don't already.
I think that's a good idea.
Excellent. As far as the written testing component goes, I wonder about something that could be holistic, that hits all of the different classes, the courses they've taken, like a final exam, but all of their material that they've taken thus far.
Well, generally we grade each individual subject individually, and then we don't do one big exam. Some students will be excelling in certain areas. They sit each one independently, and then we sort of average their results together.
Right. Okay. Fair. Is there any chance to be able to do that then for each of the students after they've completed this, this simulation, to then go into the testing component for, I don't know, an hour or two or things like that, maybe
and just
several
do a
more.
quick taster of each different subject?
Yes. Just to see if their minds are still sharp after the fact. That's something I've learned having to be out in the field, is that a lot of memory and rote goes into being able to function when you need to most.
I completely understand. I mean, I can have that arranged, but I warn you that I imagine their results will not be too different than the dossier I forwarded to you initially.
My hope is that they're not going to be.
These are excellent soldiers all. They are trained for high-stress situations, so I'd hope they do not disappoint you. But yes, I will have that set up for tomorrow. Do not worry, Lothar.
Excellent. I appreciate that. Thank you. Right. I can't think if there's anything else. Is there anything else that you have for me?
I don't think so, no. I hope the investigation's going well.
As well as it can.
Good.
Take care in the meantime, Commissar. And Lothar's going to stand up. He's going to resist the urge to salute, kind of duck his head, and then head out.
Kron smiles politely and ducks his head, but also does not salute.
Excellent. Right, I'm going to then switch the microbead back on. What do I hear?
I think you hear... what is there any conversation going on between these four chuckle fucks down in the sewers?
Which I wonder if...
So that's why when you cook the eggs, you have to make sure you put it straight from the hot water to the cold water.
I understand, Ophamuel. Please, this is a long journey back.
Can I ask?
You don't understand. You have to get real protein, and you have to know exactly what you're eating so you enjoy it more. And salt. You have to salt the water a little bit. And
Lothar clicks in. You guys know the microbead's open, right?
Yeah, it's rude to interrupt another person's conversation.
Yeah, Lothar, shut the fuck up. We're learning things here.
I was just to say, you should just listen in like I
do. He's already turned it off. Like, I've already got a headache. I regret doing that with every fiber of my being. Right, I'm gonna head back then, I guess, and see if Amelia's got any. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the 40k version of Tylenol, and I don't know what that would be.
Probably just...
I got a few
needles. Renal.
Yeah.
Renal.
Amelia, what's happening?
Guess where you have to stick it, Critter. Guess where you put it.
Right in the nose.
I got anesthetic,
right nostril.
Fucking viper fangs in my mouth.
I am not having you bite me. No, because I'm butthurt. Okay, that makes more sense as to why you do it. Fair enough.
So
Anyway.
what's Amelia doing?
I'm going to the kitchen. Right. So I assume there's a chef
Yeah,
and
there's a
people
chef
working there.
who I think this evening is actually preparing your meals. And
Better him to do that.
yeah, there is a, most of your meals are quite simple and are being prepared. He seems to be currently hacking away at some kind of large birds that you do not recognize, and he is trying to extract the very thin, hollow bones from the rib cage, but he keeps crushing them, and it is a intense, almost surgical procedure that he is trying to operate under.
I announce myself calmly, so as not to interrupt.
He says,
his
and he
work.
cuts his hand
Did you
off.
put the goblet of fire?
No,
There's a robot here.
what
But,
accent? What
I
accent
kind
does
of
this
say
cook
as well,
have?
like
Hang on.
looking what he's doing, is like I might be able to help with that.
What accent does this chef have on the Scholar Progenium? Hello, welcome to the Scholar Kitchen.
I'm the Swedish chef.
How can I help you?
Did you order sandwich?
Uh,
Borderline offensive, and I love it.
2 days ago this happened, right?
That they got blocked. Yes, it was on the day you arrived.
Yeah, it's just timeline is hard to
Yes.
remember. I'm gonna say, I'm having a look around, investigating a little bit.
Oh, good to meet you, Tech Priest.
Yeah. Curious if you could tell me, who was working 2 days ago.
Oh, I'm working here every day. Yeah?
Every day, I'm not 24/7, I would imagine.
No, I'm allowed to sleep.
Uh,
He says, chuckling. He's quite like
wait-
a portly man. He seems to enjoy his work. You wonder if he's wasted in the bowels of this Scholar Progenium and should actually be like a chef or a rogue
we'll
trader.
recruit him. Don't worry.
Please don't. Please. I don't want to do this accent. I really don't. It started
Yeah,
as
last
Swedish.
name.
That's
It's
almost
veering,
more reason for us.
veering towards
How many
India.
names does he have?
How many names for this guy? You can ask
Yeah,
him
like
his
first
name.
name, last
I
name,
always
middle name.
skip introductions by accident, but I would assume I would give my name
And he goes, "Oh, good to meet you, Amelia."
and. I always forget about that. 'Cause I'm just
Yeah.
like ready to
It's just
whatever
rude
I'm
drunk,
thinking about.
'cause that's what it is.
So you, when you aren't here, who watches? Is there, does anybody else take over? Is there any sort of security? Do you have cameras?
He sort of gestures around. There is an apprentice who is working there. By apprentice, I mean he's probably about 40 years old, rather than the 50 that this man appears to be. He is currently chopping up, I think, a variety of fruits to make a refreshing smoothie with a very large cleaver. My assistant helps me. But yes, we have cookery servitors who help on the off hours as well to prepare breakfast.
Because we're curious if you recall the blockage that occurred recently. Apparently, was caused by something in the kitchen.
Well, do you want to see why?
Of course.
And he walks over to the corner and he gestures towards a large food processor bin, which is here. He says, "This goes down deep into the bowels of the scholar and goes down into the sewage system. Now, one of your compatriots has requested a variety of ribs from very exotic animals. The trouble is, I can't roast the rest of the animal without the rest of it. It is not appetizing as a dish, so in order to conserve room in my pantry, I have to flush it. There has been several animals which has been flushed down here, and I regret that perhaps this has caused some kind of blockage down in the sewer system. I've gone Welsh. He's Welsh now. We'll stick with Welsh.
Welsh now. Ooh la.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah,
that
I thought you were
doesn't-
going
that,
from like Swedish chef to like, what's his guy's name again from
Welsh
Gavin
chef.
and Stacey.
That doesn't
We'll stick with
exactly
Gavin.
add up,
Rob
though, does it?
Brydon.
Because the
Yeah.
guys
Rob
came the day
Brydon.
we arrived. We weren't getting food already at that
Uh,
point.
Incorrect. Orfami requested his dinner almost immediately when he arrived.
I did. I requested the full,
Right,
like, week
but the
meals.
guys just started flushing all this extra stuff immediately too.
Well, he seems to have been preparing your dinner pretty much immediately. Did what he had with what he had at hand and got rid of the rest of the carcass.
I mean, obviously, we know there's another issue, regardless. Well, I suppose, but you could perhaps use the rest of the animal for other dishes.
Well, we could make a refreshing stew, I suppose. But the trouble is, I mostly work on the. I'd much rather do a Welsh accent. I need to do this in the future.
Holy shit, you do sound like Rob Brydon.
I'd much rather do a nicer sort of. I work on the higher class dishes. I work for the tutors. I work for the wonderful visiting inquisitors like yourself, and it's my assistant over there, Greg, who works generally for the the mass meals, the stews, the gruel, that sort
I
of
mean,
thing.
regardless, it has happened, so there's no sense in dwelling on that.
Completely agree, Tech Priest. I think that's a very, very good way to think about things.
But so you say your assistant is here when you're not.
Well, we both cover the same shift, and then the servitors are here at night.
Right, the servitors. I suppose I'd like to get a look at them in a minute. Then.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I like kind of like what we did with the other one. I just
Sure.
want to connect and see if I can, look at the
interface with the servitor. What are you trying to?
I want to see 2 days ago. I want to see anyone come in, and I want to see activity in the kitchen. I just want to know, like, I guess I want to see what they're seeing, and obviously they're there when others aren't.
Yes.
But
I think in the kitchen, where you don't really see much. I think a couple of days ago, they are just kind of waiting in the corner on standby whilst the actual chefs do their work. And you kind of fast forward through the vid feed, and you do see them working. He seems to, on the first day, basically flush an entire grox down this system, and his assistant has to kind of help him with it. There's no audio on it, but it is quite a comical. These two burly chefs trying to shove this large creature down into the waste disposal system, essentially. The night after, you see. I think you see Krone actually come quite late at night, and he seems to request a pot of recaf from this servitor, who makes it to him. This is around 11 p.m. I think, probably on your second night.
I suppose that's any noticeable different person, and
other than
obviously a fucking gun.
Yeah, other
that's
than
what
that,
I'm looking for.
No one appears to flash a gun down the kitchen.
That area on the pipe that was blocked, you said multiple things come through?
So it was basically the final bit. So it's the final bit before it reaches the sea. So it could have come from anywhere in the
I thought there was a blockage specific in the kitchen as well. Or I guess...
Well, so
I guess
sorry,
what you're saying,
so
the
there's
blockage
two blockages,
got flushed and then it potentially
yes, and then afterwards,
other stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it seems that this blockage started before Dango was killed.
The kitchen one?
Yes. Whether or not the las pistol caused a blockage or not, you're not sure.
More so that I got caught in it or something.
Alright,
well, I thank him, and I think I too will get a cup of calf.
Yeah, enjoy.
Not recaf.
Full calf. Oh, that's very dangerous. Oh, he says as he hands it to you.
Yeah, several days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm kind of gonna wait for the rest of them to come up, and I'm gonna have a small glass of whiskey for Gunn here, having to deal with them.
So yeah, you wait by the boiler when these four carrying the body of a squat between them emerge up.
They're bringing it with them.
I think Dora was. Yeah.
I'm not touching it. I don't touch any of that, boy. I'm walking with Gunner.
By the time
I'm giving him life advice. I'm giving him life advice though at the same time.
And by the time you reach the top of the stairs, the blood has run out of his foot. He is pale. He is dead. He is cold, even though the heat downstairs was sweltering. And yeah, Amelia, you have. Well, I don't think Amelia knows that the squat has been killed at this point.
I see them holding a dead squat, right? I mean, they're not hiding.
I told you, Amelia, there are toilet squats. I have proof.
There was a plumber squat. Why
There's
is
a
he
squat.
dead?
There was really sad story. He went
Like
for
a
my
sure
gun.
we
I
asked you
think.
not
Yeah.
to kill him.
He went for my gun. There was nothing that could be done.
You know, we had another crew member who did whatever they wanted, never thought of the consequences. He's gone now.
Is that are you threatening me, Master?
No, I'm informing
Amelia?
you.
You're informing me. Look, this now we've got to keep what we're going to keep this corpse. Oh wait, no. I'm assuming we don't come up in the kitchen, do we?
No,
No,
you're in the
I'm not
body
at
room.
the kitchen anyway.
Oh.
I was like, wait.
We put him in a freezer so we can take him back to the Ipcrest because they have to prove to Lane that our toilet squats are real and an ever-present threat.
I mean, we have their business card.
Oh, that's good. So we can hunt down more of the toilet squats.
Actually, they literally just sent one guy.
There seems to be. You didn't ask.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't have a chance to ask either. How about we go give the squat to? I keep messing up the guy's name.
Prawn?
Ron.
Yeah.
Ron.
Suffer not the heretic or the toilet
Who
squat.
hired him to work on this stuff? Because now he's going to have to sort this problem out.
All in the line of the Emperor's duty. You're welcome.
Kron's office is just down the hall if you wish to go knock. I think Lothar's probably just exited it.
I definitely have.
Lothar looks one down on the hallway. It's empty. He looks down the other way, and there's the four of us standing there holding a corpse.
I'm gonna start begrudgingly walk down the hallway then towards you guys.
I thought you were just gonna turn back to go talk
No,
to
I nope.
I wave at Lothar. I wave at Lothar.
Just
Waves a little one.
You know what? Okay, I'm gonna just kind of like put an arm around Gunnar to kind of like direct him away, hand him the whiskey, and call up Crawl and just say like, you might want to step out of your office and speak to Tora.
Are you keeping Gunnar with you, or are you sending him back to his barracks?
Right now I'm just walking away.
Okay.
I don't have an intention.
Okay, cool.
Yet.
So you're not staying with the. Okay, yeah. So Kron emerges from his office to see BGZ, Orthamiel, Gunnar, and Amelia walking away, but and Tora holding the body of Caradin Gormson, plumber squat. Lothar, are you with them?
I wouldn't have gotten away fast enough. Yeah, I'm with him.
I'm just letting Tora deal with the fucking
Man, I don't wanna be
repercussions of his own actions. Let's see what happens.
Crone looks at you all and then looks down at the body with the the most of his face is missing from this gunshot wound. His face immediately, instead of being a friendly, open face that you've seen so far, immediately is a mask of sternness. He looks at you, Tor, and says, "What happened here?"
There was an incident in the sewers.
Oh shit.
Lothar has got his nose between his fingers and he's just massaging and not looking up, just massaging right here at the bridge of his nose, keeping his head down and just trying to sniper's breath.
On Miss X.
Explain.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's BGZ's comment. I'm sorry on the conversation. He looks at you, Tora, and says, "Tora, could you provide some more details on this incident in the sewers?"
First of all, you have an infestation of toilet squats in your sewers. If you see, they're like cockroaches. You see one, there's 10,000 of them. This is a bigger issue for you. Secondly, this squat interfered with the Emperor given duties of a threat agent of an Inquisitor.
What you have in your hand there, Tora, is a hired professional, noted for his discretion, his professionalism, and also his frequent working with the very inner workings of the Imperium, including the Inquisition.
Maybe he shouldn't have shot me then. And Tora opens his jacket a bit to show the gaping wound patched up by Orfemiel.
With all due respect, Throne Agent, I find the idea that Caradin Gormson decided to shoot you on a whim.
I don't think it was. I think he was frightened that we were starting to uncover the conspiracy.
I think it's best if you leave this body with me, Tora, and
if you could just put it in the freezer for later. I hear toilet squats, knucklebones are very good.
Very well, he will be in the freezer ready for your departure.
Tora hands him the body.
Perfect. He calls over a couple of orderlies who come take the body.
Tora shoots finger guns and goes, "All right, I'll see you later, boys."
Commissar Kroll does not respond.
Tora makes his way to the kitchen to get a food. Murdering people makes Tora quite hungry. So he's off for a snack.
Oh, hello. How can I help you?
Do you have... How many Wangakus do you have?
I hate you.
I thought you would never ask for my Wangaku. Here, he says, reaching down below the counter to find several Wangakus, which obviously he knows what they are.
Wow. Oh, it's authentic Wangaku as well. I can't believe you left the beaks attached.
Well, we try and cater to every taste here at the Scolopogenium.
Look, I'll have three calf muscles and a chuck it a beak just for good measure.
Very well then, and he arranges this on a delicious platter for you, Tora. It's I'd say probably about 8-9 o'clock at night now. What would you guys like to do?
I think at this point, Lothar is going to take his fingers off of the bridge of his nose.
Mm-hmm.
I assume I'm still standing there with a commissar. I'm just going to look at him and say, we know. We'll sort him out.
Crone nods his head and says, see that you do, guardsman. And in those two syllables at the end of that sentence, suddenly there is an underlying menace in his words to you that you have heard from many commissars in your time.
Oh, intimidating. That's what I do. Sorts it right out.
Yeah, Orfemiel yells down the corridor.
Sorts it right out. That's that. I get it. If he's saying that turn of events, it's just intimidating. It's just right.
I feel like Lothar should get a penalty about resisting intimidation.
No, because he's not going to resist us at all.
Yeah.
He's going to keep his eyes locked forward towards the rest of the hallway and say, yes, commissar, and he's going to continue walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to be saying Gunnar. I'm enjoying having Gunnar as like a protege in a way. Yeah.
You treat him like shit.
He's a protege. It's called tough love.
So it's about.
That's why I gave him a whiskey to relax.
I know, and whiskey is his favorite drink for Famio, so it's even better, like making that bond subconsciously.
Gunnar is sipping the whiskey as he sits outside on a bench in the Scholars' Courtyard with.
I'd love to just see in Gunnar's head like what he thinks about the groove, because technically he was doing his own thing and all this stuff, and he's like, oh fuck yeah, when immediately I was like, oh, you're coming with us, and now what is he think?
I don't want to be part of the Inquisition.
I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Where's the brakes? Where's the brakes?
So he interrupts another explanation about hard-boiled and soft-boiled eggs and says, old Samuel, I have, well, I assume I was meant to have a busy day of lessons tomorrow, but I imagine I'll be relaxing with you. So would it be okay if I retired to my bed?
Is it Gunnar?
Yes.
Yeah, to you.
Where's your bed?
I sleep in the barracks with.
I don't like where this is going, priest.
Is there any servitors nearby?
No.
Is there any staff nearby?
Yes.
Do any of them know? Is there basically? I'm trying to find out. Is there a like bed on the floor, either below or above me? That can be like a slave's. I'm not slave. That can be a protege's quarters.
As in,
wow,
do you want
good
like?
reframe.
Do you want a bunk
I
bed
want him
brought
on.
into
I
your
want him like
room?
when I call him, I want him to be there, like faster than a cocker spaniel, basically.
He can have the staff can have a bed arranged in the corridor outside your room if you wish.
That perfect, even better.
Perfect. You snap your fingers at a guard and exclaim your request, and Gunnar seems a little bit confused by this, but he gives you a weak smile.
Excellent. Gunnar, you're going to go far, kid.
He nods and heads to the corridor where you have been sleeping. Shall we skip forward to the next morning unless there's anything else any of you guys would like to do?
Just in terms of fluff, Farron's just going to, again, walk around his old school and just look at stuff.
Where does
There's
he
no
go?
mechanical property. I think he's going to go again down that hall that has all the names and little symbols on it.
And
Not
try to re-roll
looking
again
for anything.
I think.
Nah,
I think
he's not looking
time-
at anything. He's just going down, just like glancing at some of the names and seeing people below or like the above that you should play with or whatnot.
You see a couple of students' names from this year who have been placed on it fairly recently. The most recent one was a couple of months ago. Part of your mind wonders whether Dangir's name needs to be added to the Wall of Honor.
No.
Very well. But yeah, next morning.
What did he do? He got killed for nothing.
So you know that the Wall of Honor, if they die in training with honor, then they are added to the wall. If they graduate, they are also
I didn't know
added to the
that,
wall.
to be honest.
Yeah. If they die due to a training mishap or like a failure of their own, then they are not added to the wall and they're forgotten about. One of Grisha's Grisha, the one who had the mind scraping, the person that she witnessed being basically torn apart by wolves, is not added to this wall.
Good. I'll wait till I find out the full extent of the investigations before I pick a side then on Dangir. I don't quite know that he's completely innocent in whatever he's been wrapped up in, to be honest with you. There might be some curveballs in the way.
Let's skip forward then to... Should we jump to the hallucinarium unless there's anything you guys would like to do beforehand?
Or far more like a waste of time.
As well, is it at all possible to try and find like fingerprints on the gun?
I think at this point it is impossible. It's been too spoiled. It effectively has everyone's DNA in it.
Right.
God, there's so much thorough DNA in this thing.
That said, though, I mean, of course, my metallic arm doesn't leave.
That is true.
Fingerprints and stuff.
Could have been you.
No, I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't have dirtied it further.
No, of course. So how I think is the best way to do this hallucinarium thing and the written test is I explain to you the standard response, and I will explain to you anomalies, both positive and negative, in response to this, and then I'll do the same with the test, and I'll also explain what the tutor's response is to the hallucinarium, if that makes sense, just so I don't have to say exactly what each person does, because a lot of them will be identical.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so the combat test, people do particularly well. Walk me through what this starts off as, what this is like for to be in the mind of a student who's partaking in this exercise, Lothar.
Sure. So I think what I had in mind was, right, like they'd be given specific instructions that they were to be kind of almost like how we were dispatched to the front lines there, right? But that we were to not only blend with the ranks over there, but then to separate ourselves and make our way individually on our own through like essentially behind enemy lines, if you will.
Yeah.
And in then doing so, picking out and eliminating the leader and then getting the hell out of Dodge, right? So in doing so, testing out their combat skills and things like that, obviously, and on top of that, trying to test their critical thinking skills of like how do they get to X, Y, Z, how do they navigate to and fro, and then at the very last, well, obviously the very last scene is that as they come upon the room that the supposed, the big bad evil, right? Is in. Therein sits what they have been told is a random student that's been selected out of the 10 pool, and that is where our victim is.
So it looks like Dangar exactly as he was.
Absolutely. Sitting at his desk, writing tearful, trying to get as much detail in there as possible, and then looking up, and then that they need to take the shot, essentially. So.
Okay. So.
A quick question there.
Yes.
Is Gunnar
Yeah.
doing the test as well?
I was going to ask this, yes.
Because I want Gunnar to do the test, but at the end of it, can instead of being Danya, can it be a Tyrannid? Preferably a Hive Tyrant, but I'll take a Termagant if you want to push it.
Why?
We still need to test him. He could
To be honest, no, because that'll show preferential treatment.
That's the entire point.
I know. I don't think so, because I also still don't. Lothar doesn't trust him still. Like,
okay. How do I? Can I roll tech use to hack the?
Cool. To hack the chemicals, go for it.
I'm going to say, if you do it poorly, everyone will die. So I'm going to say no.
That's fair. Everybody else fights a Tyrannid except for him.
I know he said no, but still. That was a 7. That was a 7.
Is nuts to me.
That's a 7.
Damn.
Something will happen. Okay, so everyone performs. Everyone performs particularly well in the combat stuff. This is exactly what they are trained for. There is little deviation in terms of how they perform, with the exception of Harding, perhaps, who perhaps takes a few more unorthodox routes that you would not expect. Like he, takes a flank you would not have expected, or holds his ground when you would not have expected. He very much seems to be keeping the simulated enemy on the back foot, and he is, it's to his advantage. You find that Jerome does phenomenally well in the combat. This is the Zealot. It seems that fighting chaos is her absolute forte. But all of the students are doing fairly well, obviously with some variations, which if you looked at their combined combat grades, you'd get a vague, understanding of where they would be falling. When it gets to the command bunker and the door is kicked open, the las pistol is raised at the figure who is on the desk crying. Jerome shoots with zero hesitation. You do not even think she IDs the target. Two other students have some anomalies here. Gunnar, he goes to shoot Dangir. You see him lower his pistol, resigned, and then fire quite easily from the hip, shooting him immediately. The simulation ends for him, and he looks tired. The other student which has an anomaly in this is Grisha. She is exactly on point. Her combat grade is A. She is smashing through all of the combat tasks. When she kicks open the door, the moment she is inside of that room, you notice a massive spike in her heart rate, far above accepted parameters for this. The student is able to shoot Dangir, but you notice her hand is shaking. She has to steady it with both hands in order to take the shot. As for the written,
but was she the mind wiped one?
That is true.
Was the one that you guys intimidated the fuck out of, yeah.
As for the written task, results are well. They excel in the subjects you would expect them to excel in. Gunnar's answers are quite lazy, if that makes sense. He doesn't add too much detail to his work. It's very much he is answering the question and little else, whereas other students say Mian is excelling. She's showing fantastic development in her written answers for this, particularly for stuff like combat theory. Grisha is struggling with the exam. You notice that she is stressed, and at times you see her kind of gather her breath, as you did with her, Lothar, before continuing with her writing. The tutors all look on fairly indifferently. This is not the first hallucinarium experiment that they've seen. Kron seems to be taking a few more notes than you would have expected. Hagen is looking, quite impressed. But this, he there's a sense of pride you feel like from him as he's witnessing the students doing this on the vid feed. Veld is taking a few notes on some of the students' combat performances. He's pointing out a few flaws that are not really flaws. They're still completing the mission, but perhaps not up to his standards. Linvar de Corbet is having a great time and seems to be really, engaging with this. He is it seems to be much more into the written portion of the exam, shall we say. And Almanet Advanced Lucille Baynard is, she's enjoying seeing the simulated purging of the heretics, but she obviously wants the real thing. She seems to be writing a few notes about Jerome. You take a peek over her shoulder, and she is noting how much she is excelling against fighting the chaotic threat. And the hallucinarium session is over. What would you like to do?
Gotcha.
The students are all taken into separate rooms.
To me, it only proves, like, I don't know. It just seems like, Gunyer was made to fucking, he knows, like, what's there. He didn't want to do it. And then the other person, we might have just ignited their fucking trauma of having a dead teammate now killed by their head.
Yep.
Let's
That was
maybe go
fun.
through this again.
I don't know that proves that she
Run the
did it.
simulation again.
Run simulation again. You
You
see the
know?
numbers. We need to cancel out the law of averages. So we have to do like scientific experiment. Okay, we're doing scientific methods here.
I can't
have to do it at
remember
least 3
if
times,
Gunyer
at best
liked
5 times.
he did like Dangir, right?
He wasn't friends
Or
with him.
respected,
He
at
respected
least,
him.
like,
They
yeah.
had clashed on numerous occasions.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he cared enough to want to go check on the hospital or whatever when that was a thing. So yeah, so we just kind of put him in that shit.
We had to, though.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
know.
thing.
We had to, I was expecting like a crying Tyranid at the desk.
So was I. I was playing like dang your body, but like the face turns around. It's just like
But it was actually Tyranid the whole time.
Voanthrope? Is it
Zoanthrope,
Voanthrope, like
yeah.
psychic
A
one?
Zoanthrope?
That's like just
Yeah.
floats. Yeah, I was playing like that kind of head as it turned around.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then I think a part of this is going to be us coming together with the notes then and figuring out what we got. Then
So,
Yeah.
wait, so what are they doing now? The pupils?
The students are currently in. The progenitor are currently in basically cells. They are independent rooms that just have a simple chair in them, just for them to kind of defrag.
And is it all along one hallway kind of thing? It's like a hallway, bunch of cells.
I think so. Yeah, it's quite compact.
So could they hear me from inside the cells if I was speaking quite loudly in the hallway?
I'm gonna ask if you want them to hear you.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that if you shouted loud enough, they could.
Okay. If I use my no, I don't want to use my loud here. It has to be like they have to think I'm a bit boisterous when I'm speaking.
Mm.
So, like I'm gonna go into the hallway and be like, do I know which one's Gunnars? Gunnars. Can't remember how it's pronounced.
So one of the attendants points out his room to you.
Okay, I take him out of his room. I said very loudly, Gunnar, you did excellent there. I'm so very proud and impressed by what you have done. Great job, Gunnar. Amos, in charge right now. Get back to the cell and I'll talk to you later. Great job. Again, Gunnar, great job. I shoot it back in and I close.
He kind of gives you a look
away.
as you shut the door on him. He kind of gives you a half smile.
You do know we're picking out stormtroopers, not apprentices.
No, I walk back to you guys and say, this is my theory. If, on the chance, Daniel was assassinated because people wanted to rise up the ranks and become part of the Inquisition, we now have somebody that they all think.
I mean, it is a smart idea.
That's a smart
I don't
idea.
like the nonchalantness with life that you two seem to have.
So
I'm
here's the
not
thing:
terribly keen with it either.
if
Do you
Dangir
know how many
dies,
people die in the name of the Emperor every day?
if
No,
But
Dangir
God,
not
that's
dies,
like
best.
this.
if Dangir dies, you're now investigating 2 murders. Now that's all you've done.
If
Yeah, but we've
Gunnar
also
dies.
cut the
Gunnar,
suspects.
no, but that's point because like now Gunner's under. Like I'm
You
saying this
better-
now at this point because I'm saying I'm keeping him under close supervision, very close supervision.
Do you
see.
have a camera?
Can I borrow one of yours?
He's one of he's dead now.
Uh,
I don't.
Well,
Again, like I have the spider bot, but it only goes so far. But wouldn't it not be able to keep recording if I kind of made it a stationary camera?
Yeah, I'm going to say it can't move, but yeah, you could record, let's say, 24 hours of basic audio and maybe a black and white visual, and then pick it up
Yeah, I
afterwards.
was like, I'll set up my spider bot.
my next, I don't think it's a bit of a stupid idea, but you know, like how you have those invisible sprays to put on like windows of like shops. So somebody breaks the window and climbs through it. They have like stained hands that won't like wash off for like 4 weeks, like money bags, like painted money bags. Is it unethical to cover that Gunner in invisible paint that won't wash off for like weeks and weeks on a time? Just so if he does get murdered, you can people like under a black light and see who has the splashes on them.
As I've said frequently, no. Well, yes, that's unethical, but no, that's never stopped you before.
I kind of want to do that.
Before.
No, true.
I'm gonna call. Is there a servitor nearby?
Yes.
Get me
Okay,
some
servitor.
glow in the dark UV paint.
I need you, very importantly, to get Gunnar some nice new clothes, and then I whisper into his ear like, "I need to get some." Blah, 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 blah. I say blah 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 as if I know the consistency or whatever of the glow in the dark stuff. But you get what I'm saying.
It's called Secret Paint, and this servitor lets out a mechanical beep and heads off.
Very good.
Who else would you
Oh,
like
that
to
goes.
speak
I
to?
remember to say to it behind as he's going away. Remember, only people that handle it is you, and when they give it to Gunnar, no one else. Capiche?
There's another bleep which you imagine is binary for capiche, and
BGZ, is that capiche?
BGZ gives you a thumbs up.
Nice.
Amelia, it wasn't for capiche. Anyone else you would like to speak to?
Oh no, he's lying to us now. Nobody else is coming to mind just yet. I mean, I don't know. I'll be real. I didn't think I was going to get this far, as far as this actually being done.
I want to try to explain to Tora why he can't just kill random people without like a reason.
Good luck.
Hello, Amy. What may I do you for?
Like, oh, I have a special whatever you call it, hallucinatorium. Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah! I love drugs.
Experience for you.
Yeah, done.
Okay, Tora's now subjected to hours of sensitivity training.
No.
Where we show where it goes from like normal people doing things and then replaced by squats doing the exact same thing and trying to show him why.
Tora's just like thrashing.
Is this the thing that is going to give him an insanity point? That's the question.
Oh, please yes. Please yes.
Let's find out.
Tora, roll the willpower test for me, please.
Oh shit. Motherfucker.
Because he succeeded, does that mean he failed?
You are fine.
Can I roll a strength check to try to rip myself out?
No one has tied you down.
No, I'm assuming.
I'm assuming you down right now. That's
in a hallucinatorium, they would strap you down and pump you full of drugs.
You're plugged in, yeah.
Well, yeah, but then they'd unstrap you after the drugs.
I thought it was also supposed to be like a holodeck.
It's a bit VR, yeah. Give me a strength roll -30 because you are restrained and also under the influence of a lot of physically numbing drugs.
But I get my +10, so it's only -20.
Why do you sound like an evil villain from like any cowboy movies?
I'm afraid you are unable to break out the restraint.
The better question is, does Tora learn anything?
That is a bigger question.
Intelligent test +20.
remains to be seen.
Well, like I
Fair
said,
enough.
it's not just that. It's also like Amelia kind of just saying is like, while yes, we will have to kill people, but not everybody need. There's clearly times when it's necessary and when it's not. That's another. Again, I don't know exactly what to show, but or say 100%.
But
That's the idea to get across. Like
maybe this will be particularly formative for Tora.
Yeah, we'll see.
Whatever.
When we
Or
run
he
into
might hold it
Gunny,
against her.
when we run into Gun and Son, we'll see what happens.
So
I can't believe she took all the HR videos off of the Ibcrest before we left.
So you're still. So you've got the students still in their cells. Is there anyone else you would like to speak to? Or would you like to move on?
I guess more just
personally just
observation.
don't know.
The only thing I'm thinking of is like observation of what they're then doing in the rooms, right? So like, obviously Gunner's not in the room anymore for the most part. I think we've ruled out like at least some of them, right? Because they didn't seem to.
Quick run through of what each person's doing.
I was going to give you specific ones just so that
no. Okay, yeah, that's good.
So the ones that stick out to me, definitely Grisha and who else stuck out to me?
If you want to say Gunnar's reaction seems pretty obvious, like reasonable given the situation and what he does know. Grisha, with her mind wipe and having to kill somebody that she knows, having what happened to her, that seems like a pretty normal traumatic response. And then the only other one was with the other one with the G. What's her name?
Jerem, the sister of battle, essentially.
Yeah, yes. Who had no hesitation at all, right?
It didn't even check the ID. So for Jerem, that's part of the course. Also, definitely see Wrath's message.
Yes, we'll wrap up after this. So Jerome is, from the sound of it, praying in her room. It is prayers of thanks, giving praise to the Emperor for this victory. Even though it's simulated and she knows it's simulated, she's still offering this prayer. Grisha, all you could hear from her room is crying.
Gotcha.
Shut up.
The thing that I hate to say with this is that she seems the most suspicious, and I hate saying that because I literally give you guys a hard time for intimidating the shit out of her.
Really?
But she's also
the most suspicious.
I'm finding her suspicious of like the shaking hand, having to steady both hands in order to shoot.
But
Huge
remember,
heart
she
rate
saw
spikes.
a teammate get killed before, and now she has to kill a teammate herself.
That has been
true.
mind scraped away from her.
Which ideally would have been like completely like gone. There should be.
Well, how
right?
permanent is that shit? I thought it could be like brought back up.
It could be if we were mining for it. If this, I think if we had her other teammate who she was closer with, yes. It didn't seem like she was too close to Dangir. So it wouldn't make sense for her to necessarily then have this huge of a spike like this.
She was friends with Dangir. She said that they went on runs together.
Oh yeah,
they
but
were
like and pumping.
No, they weren't. They weren't pumping.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so then it seems like
they're role-playing
the
fruit,
two,
you know what I mean?
the two G ladies,
Jerem and Grisha,
are the most suspicious. Then
I think Jerem has been the most consistent personality-wise. Grisha has been the only one who's had any hiding. Oh, I hate to say that because I literally just protected her. God damn it.
I mean, you say consistent, but also like is she so faithful and blinded in a lot of ways?
That's a good point.
She may not feel because she doesn't care. She's just doing what she's doing.
I feel like you're just saying that, Amelia, because you don't believe that the imperial truth is the only truth.
Even though Amelia said faith was like the number one important thing.
Yeah. Well, as the students
faith is the number one important thing, to be fair.
As the students
you can't get around that fact.
As the students head back to their cells, you have a think about who seems most likely to have murdered Dangir.
I mean, I agree between the two of them. I just don't know which one I would go with.
And we shall save the parlor scene for next time. Let's end the session there.